die. I spawn, I 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 die. Every fucking person on these maps has dual shotties. Yeah, dual shotty that cocksucker. Every fucking person on these maps has dual shotties. Oh, here we go, dual shotties. I can't do shit. Come here, motherfucker, huh? You fucking want some, bitch? Fucking want some, bitch? Huh? Come here, motherfucker, huh? You fucking want some, bitch? Fucking want some, bitch? Huh? Come here, motherfucker, huh? You fucking want some, bitch? Fucking want some, bitch? Huh? Come here, motherfucker, huh? You fucking want some, bitch? Now I'm pissed. I spawn, I die. 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 Oh, that's a grill. I shot the grill. Have a burger, bitch. Oh, that's a grill. I shot the grill. Have a burger, bitch. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. I can't stop killing them. I can't stop. Won't stop. Don't know how to stop. I can't stop killing them. I can't stop. Won't stop. Don't know how to stop. I can't stop killing them. I can't stop. Won't stop. Don't know how to stop. I can't stop killing them. I can't stop. Won't stop. Don't know how to stop. Oh, they stopped me. All right, here we go. I spawn, I die. 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 Realize these 10-year-olds would shut the fuck up. Fuck you, fuck that, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you. Realize these 10-year-olds would shut the fuck up. Fuck you, fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, fuck you. Realize these 10-year-olds would shut the fuck up. Fuck you, fuck that, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you. Realize these 10-year-olds would shut the fuck up. Fuck you, fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, fuck you. I spawn, I die. 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 That's what I'm fucking talking about right there, man. What is up, everyone? It's the start of another awesome streaming week, and today we've got tons of positive game news to talk about. Plus, it's the release day of Final Fantasy 16. All this and more on today's Level 1 podcast.
Out there, and welcome to the show. We're starting a brand new streaming week here today on Thursday, the 22nd of June, 2023. And of course, I'm DarkSydePhil, and I welcome you here to the show. As you can see, the festivities are in full swing for the premiere of a brand new Final Fantasy game. And let me tell you, it's always a special feeling when there's a brand new Final Fantasy releasing. They don't rush these out. They take their sweet time with them. And when they come out, they're always different, right? Final Fantasy iterations are always very different. They always mix up the formula. You never really need to have any prerequisite knowledge of the franchise to enjoy them. And I've had a lot of fun over my lifetime playing Final Fantasy games. You know, some of the older ones, the 2D pixel games, are some of my favorites of all time from my childhood. Just recently, we just finished Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster on the PlayStation 5, and that was an absolutely amazing playthrough. So happy that I was able to share that with all of you. And so, when a new Final Fantasy comes out, it's always something special, especially for, you know, my streams and my content. However, in this case, I'm even more excited, and the reason I'm more excited is I have not spoiled myself on Final Fantasy 16 at all. There has been a ton of information coming out about this game over the last 1 to 2 years, and I have completely stayed away from it. Reason being, I wanted to genuinely have an experience where I play a game kind of cold, and I don't have a lot of expectations and or understanding of what the game is supposed to be. In the case of Final Fantasy 15, that game had an early demo, that game had an insane amount of press and all kinds of hype around it that I did partake in. And by the time the game had come out, I kind of already knew what to expect mostly from it. And it ended up being underwhelming because, as you guys know if you ever played it, at launch the game was very, very unfinished. Now, apparently over the course of several years after that game released, they released a series of DLCs that made it feel like a more complete experience like it was originally intended to be. But man, going into that game with preconceived notions from everything that you were promised from the game devs and then to play the final product at launch was very underwhelming and disappointing because you could tell it was rushed and not finished. In the case of Final Fantasy 16, reviews seem to be incredibly positive. I believe right now currently has an 88 on Metacritic, which is pretty great for a brand new game, especially if you consider that Final Fantasy VII Remake from a few years back was around a 90 on Metacritic, and that had all the power of nostalgia behind it. You know, how many people played that game who loved Final Fantasy VII back in the day and were so nostalgic about this new one, so they kind of, to be honest, over-reviewed it a bit. In this case, this is brand new. No ties to the previous games. Again, they kind of, you know, rebooted everything and restarted everything with new gameplay elements and things. So we'll see. Again, I haven't spoiled myself. I have absolutely no idea what to expect. And so many people hyped for the game. So many people excited to see my playthrough of it. Me too. I'm pumped. I'm hoping for the best. You know, this is going to be our major game that we're going to be balancing starting today along with Street Fighter 6 for a while until new releases start hitting sometime in July. So good stuff. And today we're actually going to be doing this all day long. And what I mean by that is first stream and second stream, fully Final Fantasy 16. I felt that it would make sense to do this on release day since the hype will be so strong. In addition to that, I was already told that the intro segment of the game takes about 2 hours to get through. So it would have not been much of a, you know, premiere stream if more than 2/3 of my, you know, initial gameplay is just the intro and we're not really getting into the meat of what the game is, correct? And so, I am definitely excited and pumped to share this day one gameplay experience with all of you all day long, all right? However, that's not all. This is a new streaming week for me. Ladies and gentlemen, today is the start of a 7-day streaming week. 7 straight days of full-time streaming goodness for you. And I hope that you're ready, because we've got a lot in store. Let me tell you. Man, I'm pumped and excited. So, not only do we got Final Fantasy, we've got way more Street Fighter 6 on the horizon. Tomorrow, I'll actually be picking a new character in the game. I'm not sure if I want to just maybe go back to E Honda, who I've only used for like a couple of hours, and try him out again, you know, more lengthy, or do I want to actually pick a character I haven't used in the full retail version of the game yet and try them out? Do I want to return to one of the characters that maybe I did mess around with a little bit in the demo? You know, I don't know yet. I'm kind of torn. So we'll talk about this hopefully today. Hopefully help me determine who I want to use tomorrow. all day long in Street Fighter 6, all right? We also have the continuations of the Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, as well as the Diablo 4 playthroughs coming up this week. That's going to be exciting. In addition, we got my weekly react show, DSP versus the Internet, on Saturday. And, of course, everything else that comes with this stuff. I will be doing a new review this week, and it's looking like it's actually going to be, of all things, the Dungeons and Dragons movie. Yes, that movie that released a month or two ago. I think it was called, like, Honor Among Thieves or something like that. It reviewed pretty well. People said that it was actually quite a good movie. I've never seen any kind of, formal movie in the Dungeons & Dragons franchise, nor have I ever really played the game. I know what it is, obviously. So that'll be pretty exciting. I'm going to give that a look sometime this week and do a review for you. So a good variety of content coming up this week. The way I'm planning on covering it is the daytime streams will be Final Fantasy and Street Fighter kind of alternated, while the night streams will be Zelda as well as a Diablo kind of alternated. So it's good stuff. So we'll talk more about that in detail in a sec. But man, I always say this. I say on my day off is when everything happens, correct? And certainly this week was absolutely no exception. Yesterday there was a Nintendo Direct, and out of nowhere, it ends up being like the best Nintendo Direct in ages. It's got all these amazing announcements no one saw coming. It blew a lot of people away, including me. I was shocked at some of the announcements during this event. We're going to talk about those this morning. In addition, there was a new interview with Todd Howard this morning about Starfield, which revealed some interesting things about the game that, no exaggeration, agreed completely with my speculations about it. What a shocker there, right? I mean, seriously, I'm not even kidding you. I was dead on right about a bunch of stuff, so it'll be cool to talk about that today, too. So, if you're ready for an info-packed podcast, you are in the right place, my friends. But before we begin, what I would like to say is thank you so much so far this month for your amazing support and attendance and viewership of all of my content. This month has been a weird one because Street Fighter 6, being the first major fighting game that I've actually covered in this capacity, I didn't know how it was going to work. So far, I'm very pleased with, the response I've gotten. Most people are very much enjoying my efforts to get good at the game and or supporting them, which is very nice. But of course, I've been continuing on with Zelda and Diablo. Sadly, as I knew would happen, these games didn't get as much play as I would like, especially with me losing some streaming time last week because of internet issues. I'm behind on them, which I knew would happen. So thanks to those for being patient with those playthroughs this week, because it's a 7-day streaming week. It should be a way more development in those games. If you actually look, I'm going to be basically playing each of those 3 times each, which is great. 6 hours of progress in each game this week will be a very good thing, especially because some of the parts I am in the games. We're at the culmination of Act 2 in Diablo 4, and it looks like we're going to be heading towards the Gerudo area in Zelda, and hopefully with 6 hours this week, maybe we can actually beat all the questing in the dungeon and everything there. Maybe even finish up all the Dragon Tier, memories in the game, which would advance us big time and kind of almost head us into the end game. So yeah, good stuff all around. Just thanks for being patient and thanks for supporting the streams. Now, before people panic, yes, if you take a look at the stream stats, you're going to notice something. We lost a bunch of members in the last week, okay? Absolutely, this is truthful. What happened? Well, a couple of factors happened. Factor number one is that I did lose out on a day of streaming. And when I'm not here, when I'm planned to be here, some people get upset. Do I really think that's what happened? No. But I'm just saying it did affect things for sure to unscheduled lose out on a whole day. Now, the other factor here is that last month, we had a lot of rallying of support and a bunch of gifted memberships to the channel that have now expired. In general, it was actually around 200 gifted memberships that have all expired in the last week, okay? On top of that, I'm playing a ton of Street Fighter, and that brings in a certain crowd who will come and enjoy and support in various ways. Memberships have not been one of them. We've seen a lot of tips and other things coming in, which is great, but memberships have been kind of stagnant, actually, in the last week. I've barely seen anyone even become a new member or renew a membership. So that's what's happening, okay? Now, perhaps today, with the premiere of Final Fantasy 16, we'll see a flip on that. In fact, I would say once we start with gameplay today, you may actually see an increase in viewership, which would be great to see more people come to the stream than usual. And if you're someone who enjoys my content and you're excited for the premiere of a big new game today and you want to support this channel and the content that it puts out, perhaps you would consider gifting some memberships to the community. Today would be a great day with as many people as we'll probably have on stream when I get started with the game. And I'm sure there's going to be people who maybe have lost their memberships in the last couple of days who would be willing to accept a gifted one. Just tossing that out there as an idea. It's always a good idea to support not only, you know, me and myself, but also everyone around us. Hey, gifted memberships are a great way to do that, and I'm sure everyone would enjoy having access to emotes and everything for the premiere of a brand new game. So just throwing that out there before people look at the leaderboard and freak out. No, it's not a giant deal that we went down that many. They were all gifted last month, and I knew they were going to expire. The good news is I don't base special marathon events around any kind of member goals anymore. You know, members are great. They come and go. And sometimes they come in waves. Someone's very generous, we get a bunch. And then a new game comes out and we get a bunch more. And it's all good. But if we don't have them all the time, that's okay too. It's a great way to support the channel. But I still do these fun celebratory events regardless. And I think everyone appreciates that, right? I think the last few months it's definitely worked well. We got one coming up with DSP's DSP on July 2nd. And this morning I'll be announcing something new for you all as well. Something else special for the month of July that I think you guys are all going to very much enjoy because I'm actually very excited for it. So I want to talk about it this morning, but we'll get to that when we get to it, okay? So, great stuff all around, everybody. All around. And I hope that you're all excited for the fun. And let's, where should we even begin? Should we go through the schedule first, get that out of the way? I think we'll do that. Let's do the schedule for the week. And then also what's kind of going on long form for the month. And then we'll jump into a bunch of positive game news for today. And then we'll go from there. How does that sound? Hopefully that sounds good. Cool. I'm going to dye my hair orange and paint myself green. I mean, I might as well because this is the character I'm doing the best with in Street Fighter 6 right now. Not to say that'll stay forever, but maybe I should make myself look like the beast, the beastie boy, the Brazilian beastie boy. There you go. No Phil's Day Off segment. Would you like a Phil's Day Off segment? You want one? Okay. Yesterday was my day off. I didn't do much because yesterday was meant to be a more relaxing day after the hectic nature of last week's day off and then having my internet out and going out another day over the weekend, at least for part of the day. My wife and I really just wanted to recuperate. So for the most part, I just went out, did our usual grocery shopping and stuff like that, ran errands, and we ordered in. We actually ordered in some Indian food. I got a chicken curry, and my wife, I think, got a chicken tikka masala, you know, with over basmati rice. It was absolutely delicious. Well, my wife actually played a lot of Diablo 4 yesterday. She hadn't actually played Diablo 4 in a while, and there's a reason for it. And here's the reason. Because she's gotten to the point in the game, I want to say she's like level 45 or something like that, okay? So she's obviously played way more of Diablo than I have. But basically, from what I'm seeing as she plays the game, she's kind of hitting a wall. And what I mean by that is, you know, the addictive nature of the game goes so far, and then after a while, you want to partake more in the story and or meaningful side missions, and she's starting to run into problems. For example, yesterday, she's doing this plot line that had to do something to do with cannibals or something like that. And it's several missions. And she does a bunch of them. And she gets to the final one. The game glitches out. It won't complete the quest line. So she had done all this work to complete the quest line. And it just doesn't work. She goes online. Yeah, it's a known bug. This quest line has a lot of issues. People have tried to find workarounds. And they can't really consistently figure out how to get it to conclude. It's a big problem. Okay? So then she says, I'm going to start some of the story. She gets to this particular boss, and the boss literally takes 90% of her health bar with one hit. Now, she has 6 health potions, okay? She's a rogue class. She can't really do much about this, right? She's like, so I'm trying to beat this boss, but if I take one hit, I'm nearly dead. And I'm supposed to kill the boss. You know, the boss. Every boss is a tank in this game. Like, how am I supposed to beat this boss? So it's kind of like she's frustrated because she likes the game. But now it seems like everything she's trying to do, side quest, glitch, not working. Main story boss, can't beat it because it seems like my build isn't good for this and I'm just instantly dying or whatever, right? And she's like, well, what am I supposed to do now? So she played a lot yesterday, and by the end of the day, she was actually frustrated. You know, I don't blame her. From what I saw watching her play, I'm like, yeah, I get it. You know, it seems to me like it's almost like they're forcing you to party up in certain situations. And who wouldn't be frustrated if you played a quest line for hours just to find out the final quest can't be completed because the game is full of bugs, right? So, yeah, that's the situation where her, you know, she still likes the game, but at this point she's kind of hoping she can find something else to balance with it. So that way if she hits the wall or kind of gets burnt out on it, she can alternate between that and another game. It's kind of rough when you're only playing one game and you hit a wall and you're like, well, now I'm kind of bored. What do I do, right? So I watched her play a bunch yesterday, and you know, that's basically what we did yesterday. Nothing too crazy, nothing too insane out of the road of what we would normally do. I think next week's day off again is going to be insane, because I believe next week's day off we have a bunch of stuff scheduled again, just like last time. Like not this week, but last week we had all appointments and things. I'm pretty sure we have more, like a bunch of appointments and stuff lined up for next week's day off, which is actually I think why we're doing a 7-day work week this week. Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, that's Phil's day off. Nothing too special. So that's why I didn't really think to make it a giant segment out of it or anything. So, okay, schedule-wise, what's going on today? It is Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 16 all day long, all right? First stream, second stream, 5 hours of progress, and hopefully this turns out to be a great experience for everyone. You'll enjoy me covering this brand new game on release day. Perhaps, well, you know, we'll have people, you know, coming by who haven't been by in a little bit. You know, it's very possible that there's people who have been gone since I played since I started playing Street Fighter 6, because they're not in the fighting games, but now they'll come back to chill with me in an RPG style environment, right? So that'll be nice.
Come on.
And again, going into a game like this cold turkey, not knowing what to expect, and not knowing what the graphics are even going to look like, what the gameplay is going to be like, what the story is, because I really have no idea. I think it's just going to add to the overall experience. If I had known everything that was going to happen, it wouldn't be that special, you know? So I'm excited to get started today, all right? Now, tomorrow, we're doing Street Fighter 6 all day long. And the question is, well, what am I doing? Like I said, I think I'll do something new. Rather than play Blanca or Lily or Marisa, I think instead we'll pick someone who I haven't really focused on yet. And my question is, should it be Honda, who I've only used for like a couple of hours and didn't really learn that much about when I used him? Or should it be someone else? If I pick Honda, man, I'm going to be in hot water. You want to know why? Because he's in diamond rank. And I'm not good with Honda. I didn't even know what I was doing, but I beat enough people like that first day the game was out that I got to freaking diamond rank, which is insane. And now anyone I play is going to be whooping my ass. Trust me, they are. So that could be a rough one. Or do I want to use a new character? And some of the characters I'm mulling about using tomorrow, perhaps Guile, perhaps Ryu, maybe Ken, right? Maybe Chun-Li. Those are kind of the four that I've been thinking about in my head. Because, first of all, they're all classic characters from classic Street Fighter. But they all are going to be a lot different than how they played originally. Especially a character like Ken, who is a pure kind of mix-up, rush-down character. And this character has so many tools and options. It seems like any hit you get with Ken immediately goes into some kind of frame advantage where he's safe on almost everything. And as long as you're mixing things up with dash cancels, he could be, you know, high-low mix-up, throw mix-up. And again, I got one hit, dash cancel, giant combo from anywhere on the screen, right? Like, I've seen crazy juggles with hurricane kicks and stuff. It's just pretty wild how many tools they gave Ken in this game. Now, when someone has that many tools, it may very well be kind of confusing what tools to use in what situation, because he's going to have so many. But I'm not sure. Do I want to do that, or should I play with maybe Guile, who seems to be way more defensive and like the ultimate defensive character in this one, especially with his very low charge special moves. Chun-Li I played once in the beta, and I really liked her, but admittedly I didn't really know that much about her. Now I could probably try things like dash cancels and advanced combos to get better with her. And then, of course, Ryu, I did use in the beta for a bit, and was actually getting better with him, but I didn't really implement much. Like, I wasn't implementing his new move where you do, like, it looks like, rather than a fireball, he, like, does a force push with his hands with electricity. And also, I wasn't using dash cancels at all. Now, obviously, I would try to implement dash canceling. So, I guess the question is, who should it be? And let's talk about this over the course of today. This is something I'd like your feedback on. By the end of today, I'd like to decide, because tonight, whoever I pick, I'd actually like to watch some gameplay of. You know, what I've been doing is when I play these characters online, I kind of absorb some tech from watching gameplay videos. And that allows me to learn more than just the basics and kind of know some advanced strategies to use with these characters that I definitely would like to learn. So let's talk about it today, all right? And then tomorrow, a new character in Street Fighter 6, and it should be a fun day, all right? Saturday's going to be DSP versus the Internet, my React show on DSP Reacts during the daytime stream. Yes, it'll be the usual format of random order for videos, but Ultra members, of course, will get their videos watched first. If you are a channel member over on DSP Reacts, I urge you, post up your videos sooner rather than later. A lot of people have been waiting till the last 24 hours, and there's a chance that it will not get on the show if you do that. All right, so please post up, and I'm excited for that. And then, of course, like I said, what I'm going to do every day is alternate. So the daytime stream on Sunday will be Final Fantasy 16, but then the daytime stream on Monday will be Street Fighter, and then Final Fantasy, Street Fighter, Final Fantasy, you know, kind of alternated. The night streams as well. So Saturday's night stream will be Zelda. Sunday's night stream will be Diablo. Monday's night stream will be Zelda. Tuesday's night stream will be Diablo, and we'll keep doing that, all right? Now, the only thing is up in the air would be Wednesday. On Wednesday, since this is a 7-day streaming week, it's kind of the odd day out. And the question is, what would you guys like to see? Do you want maybe another established stream of Final Fantasy or Street Fighter that day? And the night stream, would you like a stream of Zelda or Diablo that day? Maybe we should just go with the alternating schedule all week, or do you want to see it maybe mixed up for the last day? I'm not sure. So, that's what's going on this very extended and exciting new release streaming week. Also, I would like to remind all of you of the very hype event that is coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, it is DSP's DSP, which stands for Digital Summer Party. It is a marathon-style party event that's happening on Sunday, July 2nd. We have so much we're going to be doing on that day at this point. Ready? Just listen to this. You ready for this? Number one, party-like atmosphere, some special things going on that day. I'll probably drink a little bit or take a shot if I get a certain amount of support during that day. That's number one. Number two, some special things will be in place that day. I won't spoil yet, but I have a few things planned in mind that I think you guys will enjoy. Number three, first segment of the show will be us going through the game schedule for the rest of the year. As you know, we just had a slew of humongous digital events from Sony, Microsoft, Ubisoft, Capcom, as well as now Nintendo. And what I'd like to do is go through the gaming schedule and update what games I'm interested in playing, and we'll try to talk them through and hash them out. What games should I absolutely play on release, and what games should I skip? And the reason I say that is because there's absolutely positively no way I can play every single game in September, October, and November of this year. This year is lining up to be probably the most stacked hardcore gaming season I've ever seen. There's that many games releasing in such a short period of time that I just don't think I can pull it off. I think we're going to end up having to skip like at least a third to half of the games and playing them at a later date, which I'm fine with, but we need to talk about what games will be played right away and what games will be skipped. So, in a very extended segment, we're going to go in detail into the gaming schedule and figure this out, okay? In addition to that, there's going to be several tier maker ranking events. One will definitely be for something like American Fair Food, ranking what's the best American style food that there is. And then, of course, there may be some gameplay stuff as well, including some Street Fighter 6 gameplay that day. I think would be a good segment for the show. Just some, online play. And in addition to that, food. My wife will be making not one, not two, but 3 different things for the show, where I'll be trying out various different kinds of American fare cuisine in a mukbang / feasting with Phil, whatever you like to call it. Several segments of the show like that as well. So, we've got a lot planned, all right? It's going to be a very, very exciting special event with tons going on, and I hope that you guys are excited as much as I am, because it sounds like it's going to be a great time, okay? I think it is going to be a very good time. So, that's coming up. Now, in addition to all of that, okay, something else has happened. Something else interesting and exciting that I was not even aware of, all right? During my day off, I had several people, probably three people, who contacted me out of the blue and said, hey, Phil, were you aware that the person whose YouTube channel you have used for React content many, many times over the last year, June the King, has put out a documentary about the history of machinima? And to let you guys know, I actually did know he was making this. I didn't know when it was going to come out or how extensive it was going to be, but I was well aware that he was actually making this. He had been talking about it publicly, but also I had kind of talked to him behind the scenes a little bit about what he's working on this year, because he's actually working on a documentary about me. Go figure. But no, like, I knew he was working on this. I just didn't know when it was coming out, and apparently it came out yesterday, and people are saying it's really good. I think it's about 50 minutes long. Now, here's the thing. You might say, well, why is this something interesting or special to you? I was a partner with Machinima for over 6 years. I actually partnered up with Machinima on YouTube back in early 2011, and I stayed a partner with them all the way through early 2017. Most major YouTubers who partnered with Machinima literally quit within a year or two of being with them because they had bad experiences, because Machinima was a very disorganized, very not dependable style company. Just to give you some perspective, this is a company that had no idea what they were doing. They were always tossed money by investors, and they would blow it all. Like, oh, we got a bunch of money. Should we do this or this or this? No, let's make a TV series. But you're not a production company. You don't make TV series. Well, we just want to do that. Oh, okay. One year they'd fly out to E3, telling you that they want all their content creators to get prominent and cover E3, and the next year they'd say, we're not doing anything. Then one year they say, we're going to send you an insane amount of free games to cover, and the next year they'd be like, we don't talk with anyone, we don't do that. It's like, huh? I mean, no exaggeration, one day you would have a full grouping of contacts and important people who want to help you out on YouTube to become a better content creator and advance and succeed, and then the next day you have an issue and you contact them and they're like, don't bother us. They're just the weirdest company, and I was with them for over 6 years, and I've told you guys the stories over the years that I've personally had, but I've never told you the full story because I was kind of waiting for there to be a reason. Now, Machinima went out of business a couple years ago, and when they went out of business, what happened was they were bought out by another company. That company shut them down and literally deleted their channel. So you're talking upwards of 10 to 15 years of content that people had made for Machinima that was deleted from the internet when they went out of business. And a lot of people are very upset about that, okay? So what I'd like to do, obviously, because there's not only vested interest here for me to do something like this, but there's a public interest in me doing it as well. People contacted me out of the blue and said, did you know this documentary came out? Will you react to it? Because this is absolutely something we feel you can add to. You were part of this thing. The whole time this was going on, you were part of it, and we want to hear your take on all these subjects that June covers, but also we want to hear you add all your personal supplemental experiences and things. And I was like, yeah, this sounds like a great plan to me. As you know, when I do long-form react stuff, it's very much detailed, and it adds a lot. So, for example, I'll react to an hour-and-a-half video. It'll take me 5 hours. So even though this is a documentary that's a 50-minute long documentary, I would guarantee you this would take at least 2 to 3 hours to get through, because I'm going to probably have a lot of stories to tell and a lot of things to add to the discussion that most people don't know about Machinima or didn't know was happening behind the scenes. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, when June told me he was working on this Machinima documentary, I went back and I searched my emails. Guess what? I have most of my email correspondence that with Machinima saved. And I have some very interesting things that have happened. Like, for example, when my incident happened in 2016, how they took it upon themselves to go out there and start doing things in my name that I never gave them permission to do, and I had a lot of issue with. Okay? Or how, when a lot of people were being very slanderous and negative towards me over the years, they decided to go out of there and do things that I never authorized them to do. For example, they went out there and started claiming videos and trying to take down things, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, I never told you to do that. But they just took it upon themselves to do it because they were my partner network and they thought that they had that authority when I never gave it to them. There's just a ton of stuff like that. And I have it all saved. Like, literally, I've saved all the email correspondence and everything. So I've got some stuff to discuss when it comes to this company that doesn't exist anymore. So, I'm decided that in the month of July, we will do a long-form react to the June the King Machinima documentary. All right? Now, when will it be? I don't know yet. We have to figure this out because already the first week of July, we have the special Digital Summer Party coming up. So, obviously, you don't want to do that right after, right? What you want to do is you want to kind of space it out, because if I'm going to take another whole day off from gameplay streaming, I want to do it when it's appropriate. So maybe around like the middle of the month or something like that. I haven't done a long-form react in many months. The last one was the Internet Historian long-form react, which you guys really enjoyed. So I figure let's do another one now, and we've had enough time, right? We've spaced it out. We've broken it up enough that this would be a good one, okay? Wow, in fact, guess what? Guess what I've got? I got the Machinima swag because I still have Machinima clothes. I think I have a Machinima hoodie that I've saved up. It's a collector's item because it's so rare because they don't exist anymore. I even have a Machinima branded Xbox 360. I have all the Machinima shit. This is going to be a very special long-form event. It's going to be pretty cool, actually. So, I'll bust all this stuff out for you guys, all right? So, hope you're excited. It sounds interesting to you. If you want to hear about the history of this company via June's documentary, I recommend checking out his channel, June the King. Give the documentary a watch. Here's the thing. I'm not going to watch it. The thing is, I am very tempted to watch it. I want to see what June researched and found out. Because actually, I was talking with him several months ago, and I was like, dude, no one ever did a proper documentary on Machinima. Nobody. It's an untouched subject. And it's weird because we're one of the biggest companies that just died out of nowhere. And I wonder what the real history is. The truth is, I don't know what caused them to fail. All I know is that they kept getting investor money and pissing it away. But I don't know what the tipping point was. I'm very curious to see what June researched and found out about this company in his documentary. So, yeah, let's see. I'm going to watch this in July at some point. Let's talk about it over the course of the next several weeks to determine what's the best time to do it. But yeah, it'll probably be a weekend. It'll probably be a marathon-style event. All right, should be a good time. And something different to break up the content so it's not just the same gameplay over and over, but instead it'll be some good variety for the channels. All right, so that's going to be a special event coming up in July. All right, and then what I would say is after that, probably the next special events we're going to do would be my anniversary events. Because if you're not aware, ladies and gentlemen, this is my 15-year anniversary as a content creator on the internet. I've now been making YouTube videos for 15 years on a fairly consistent basis, you know, and I'd like to celebrate that. What we're probably going to be doing is over the course of the summer, let's talk about what special events we can do. But I'm thinking the second half of August and the first half of September, before all the new releases start hitting, I'd like to do a series of celebratory events, all right? Number one, definitely some kind of a retrospective marathon where we go back down memory lane and we watch clips from my past and I react to them. Number two, I'd like to play some retro games, maybe some of the games that were originally from my early days as a YouTuber, and maybe do some throwback playthroughs or just gameplay sessions, okay? But in addition to that, we can do some special stuff like a tier maker where I rank all of the games that I previously had said were Game of the Year nominees and or winners, and we can basically rank those against each other in a modern setting and say which ones stood the test of time and still are great games, and what other ones maybe kind of, you know, not really that good and didn't age very well, and they don't really deserve that prominence anymore, right? That'll be a fun event. So there's tons of things we can do to celebrate my 15-year anniversary as a content creator, and that's going to be coming up. Likely what we'll do is we'll talk about it in July, start planning, and then about mid to late August into the first week of September is when we'll do all those special events to prepare. But then once those new releases start hitting during the hardcore gaming season, that's what I've got to focus on. Okay? Good stuff. I mean, geez, what a schedule. A jam-packed, exciting week of gaming, a marathon coming up, a big long-form react coming up, and we already got stuff looking down the pipeline that's coming up later this year. This is going to be a very exciting year. Really, I'm very excited about this second half of 2023. I think it's going to be a great, great time here on the streams. So, excellent, excellent. All right, let us now get to game news, because if I don't get to game news, I'm going to forget, and we're not going to cover everything. All right? So, folks, let's talk, because yesterday was a humongous day for Nintendo, one of their biggest Nintendo Directs ever, in my opinion. Covering so many awesome topics. Let's just go ahead right through it, all right? So, first and foremost, if you can believe it, just listen to this. Super Mario RPG, the 1996 Square Enix turn-based RPG starring the cast of Super Mario Brothers with original characters as well, is getting a full-on remake. Yes, they've redone the graphics to be full 3D. They got the original composer back, whose name is Yoko Shimomura, and she is recomposing the entire soundtrack in a remixed fashion to sound more modern. Yes, this game is coming out in November on the 17th, and I couldn't believe it when they announced it. I was like, what on earth? I never expected this. I really didn't. They do have Super Mario RPG currently on the Switch. If you have the subscription-based program, Switch Online, you can play it on there right now. But the fact that they have redone this game from the ground up, great. You know, the only thing that's the same is the story and the gameplay elements, but the graphics and the music completely redone. That is amazing. You know, that is so awesome, because this game is a game that is an incredible RPG from those 90s times, especially as a Square Enix classic, in my opinion. And it never really got much love. It's weird, because after this game came out, there were no sequels, nothing like that. Were there other games that were in its spirit? Yeah, I would say to some extent the Paper Mario games that came out after were somehow in the spirit of this franchise, but never really did it originally get a sequel or anything, nothing official, right? So to see this game now get this kind of treatment is pretty amazing. To see that they've actually, I guess they've listened to fan feedback and they feel like it's going to sell. Now, of course, the one thing you may say is a negative. It's full price. It's going to be a $60 game, and it's like, wait a minute, but it's the same exact game from 1996. Better graphics, better music, but it's the same game. I could play this game right now on Nintendo Switch Online just for having the Switch Online sub. Why do I have to pay $60 for it, right? But for some of us, man, like for me, this is cool retro vibe and nostalgia. And I'm down for it. I'm down for playing this game. Now, I guess the real question is, what's going to be going on in November game-wise? Are we actually going to have time to play it at launch? Or is this something because it's already... I've already done a playthrough of Super Mario RPG. When it was released on the SNES, we played it. So I think my playthrough is like 4 years old at this point. So it'd be cool to play it again. But at the same time, you know, is this really something that if there's other new hot popular games out, right? Is this something that I should be doing to take priority when I should be probably playing those other games first? We'll have to talk about it, all right? But I definitely am super interested, you know, because I love the game, and I would be very excited to play the game again with new graphics and new music and everything for you guys, all right? So that's a huge announcement, in my opinion. The Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 is now coming out on October 24th on all platforms, but of course, on Nintendo Direct, they said it's coming out on the Switch. And basically what it is, it's the original trilogy of games. I think Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. But as we've discussed, it's just ports. This is not, oh, they redid the games with better graphics. These are just the ports of the previous version. So it's literally the PS1 version of Metal Gear Solid, right? And then Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 have the HD remakes from the previously released HD collection, just ported into this collection. And I believe this also has the VR missions, right? Which was the handheld game, the VR missions and all of that. So it has some of that as well. So it's good for those who want a modern way to play the classics. For example, I'm one of the people who said people have wanted me to replay Metal Gear Solid 1 for years. They want me to do another full playthrough of it. Now that I'm an older guy, I'm a different kind of gamer now, I'm an interactive streamer. They want to see me pull this off, you know, because my old playthrough is terrible. It's from a million years ago, and, you know, they want to see me do it better and do it more justice. So I said I would do it, but then the only way I had access to it was to play it emulated on my PS3. My PS3 hasn't worked for years. So I'm basically locked out of playing it. Well, apparently, this version will be the classic, so you can play them on a modern console, you see? Now, Guts says also this is going to include Metal Gear 1 and 2 Solid Snake and Snake's Revenge. So those are what, the NES games? So it's going to have the NES games on there as well in the collection. Listen, let me put it this way. If you've never played these games before, and you always had an inkling to play the classics, this is probably a great way to do it. Or if you're a big fan of these games, and you just want to have a way to play it on a modern console, personally, I don't see a reason to rush and play. Why? It's the same versions you've already played. If these were remakes or something, that'd be different, but this is the same stuff you've already played. So it's cool to have it for, you know, legacy purposes, to preserve the game so you can still play them if you want, but I'm not super excited for it. I think the bigger announcement was when they said they're remaking Metal Gear Solid 3 as a full-on remake with new graphics, new gameplay elements, new everything. That's way more exciting to me, and that's going to be coming out at a later date. So I'm glad it's coming out. You know, you want for preservation purposes, you can play them, but I'm not super stoked for this collection. Continuing on. 2 new games and franchises here. Pretty interesting. First of all, a brand new game starring Princess Peach is coming to the Switch in 2024. We're not exactly sure what it is yet. All right. But it's a game starring Princess Peach as the protagonist. And we haven't seen a game like this since Super Princess Peach on the DS over a decade ago. So it's kind of neat to see Princess Peach get the limelight for a game, but we'll have more details on that, as we move forward here. Also, there will be a visually enhanced version of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon in development for the Switch coming out in 2024. For those who don't know, Dark Moon was basically Luigi's Mansion 2, and it was a 3DS exclusive. I own it. When I bought my 3DS many years ago, I bought Dark Moon. I didn't play much of it. I played maybe like an hour of it. What it was meant to be was a game that I was going to play as I traveled, and I went to game conventions, and I went to, tournaments and things, and I probably used it for 1 to 2 trips, but then essentially I kind of stopped traveling. So it kind of sucked because I bought it, and I got all ready for travel, and then I never really used it, so I never really played the game. But yeah, they're remaking it for consoles, so now there's more access to it. I think what it is the 3DS is being sunsetted. The Switch is the new thing for Nintendo that they want everyone playing. And because of that, they want people to have access to this game, and that's why they're probably going to be doing that, you see? Okay. Cool. What else? There's so much going on here. Oh. This is another one that shocked me. I had no clue this was happening. They made a new Mario 2D game. Now, here's the thing. Back when I was starting to become a prominent YouTuber, so we're talking like 2010, 2011, 2012, okay? This is the time when the Wii was ending its life cycle and the Wii U was premiering, and basically Nintendo went into absolute overboard mode with 2D Mario games. There was like New Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Brothers Wii, New Super Mario Brothers Wii U, Luigi, New Super Luigi Brothers U. This is that. There was like 5 or 6, no exaggeration, like 5 or 6 2D Mario games, right? That were all coming out around the same time within like a 2 to 3 year period. So I really feel what happened was they just completely, they oversaturated the market. 1,000,000% oversaturated the market with that stuff. And they were all good games, don't get me wrong. But yeah, after you play 1 or 2 of them, you start to get a little bored. I remember I played a full co-op playthrough with John back in the day. And it was an exceptionally good playthrough for the 2 of us, to play. But then you play the next one, and the next one, you're like, okay, well, it's getting excessive at this point, right? And then all of a sudden, Mario vanished for the longest time, right? And then all of a sudden, he came back in 2017 as Super Mario Odyssey on the Switch. And since then, once again, Mario vanished. And now here we are, 6 years later, and they've announced Super Mario Brothers Wonder, a new 2D game coming out October 20th. And boy, does it have some weird visuals. Mario as an elephant, some really weird stuff. Basically, it seems like they really went in a really weird, oddball direction with this one. What it may be is they just wanted crazy stuff, and they didn't really want to give it rhyme or reason. So they just called it Super Mario Wonder. Here's a bunch of random shit, right? But it is a classic 2D Mario game, okay? Oh, it's coming out in November? Well, then the article here, Nintendo UK, is wrong. Nintendo UK says October 20th. Is Nintendo UK incorrect? I'm literally reading right from Nintendo UK's Twitter. I guess we'll have to get this date settled in once I go through the gaming schedule update we're going to do during the digital summer party. Okay, we'll actually officially go through and do all that, right? Anyway, so that's coming out, right? So that's very exciting. It is 10/20/2023, so I'm correct. It is October 20th. Okay, thank you. So just another game for October. Seriously, another game for October, like we didn't have enough lined up, right? All right, continuing on, because we're not done with this news yet. A new WarioWare game is coming out. And man, it's been a while since we had a new WarioWare game, correct? Like, it's been a long while. This one is going to be called WarioWare Move It. Comes out on November 3rd. It has 200 minigames. Co-op play for 2 players, party modes for 4 players. So it's very much in the same vein as previous WarioWare games. I actually had a WarioWare game back in the day on my Nintendo 3DS, and I loved it. I actually thought it was a really fun game. But man, it's just meant to be a bunch of micro games. It's nothing super special or anything. It's just get better at these micro games and kind of master them. And they were very chaotic or whatever. So pretty cool to see a new one coming out. Probably not something I'm going to be playing though. Dragon Quest is getting a new game called Monsters: The Dark Prince on December 1st. I don't know what that is. Dragon Quest Monsters. I think it's its own spin-off line, but I don't actually know what Dragon Quest Monsters is. So I don't know if it's good or not, or something I should look into. Maybe you guys could give me more information, but I'm not sure what the franchise is all about. Also, for those who have never played the original Pikmin games 1 and 2, which originally were games for the Nintendo GameCube way back in the day, they're going to be making HD versions of these games that can be either purchased as a bundle discount or piecemeal separately on Nintendo Switch Online. So I'm not actually sure if this is something I'd be interested or not. I played Pikmin 3 years ago, and I really, really enjoyed the game. At the same time, perhaps these older versions, maybe, you know, I don't know if they're as accessible and fun as Pikmin 3 was. And by the way, Pikmin 4 is coming out next month. So I don't know if I'm going to be playing these or not, but it is now nice to know. Oh, they're live right now? They're actually out right now, apparently. So you can play these right now if you want on Nintendo Online. Well, there you go. You can buy them right now if you'd like. Pikmin 1 and 2. There you go. Cool. Okay, so that's it. What a Nintendo Direct. I just wanted you to think about that. So, I'm being told by Jay Kuma, so Dragon Quest Monsters is akin to Pokemon. You command a party of monsters. You get to fuse your monsters to make them into brand new monsters. So it's basically a Pokemon-style game with monster control and fusion. Okay, it's interesting. Would it be something I'd be interested in? It's a baby. All right, it'd probably be... Sorry, I'm stretching. Oh, I started stretching right at... Oh, no way there. Sounds to me like something that could work as like a late-night chill stream deal. Right? I definitely think that it could be pretty good. But anyway, yeah, let's think about it. All right, so that's it for Nintendo Direct. I mean, holy crap. Just think about this. Super Mario RPG Remake. New 2D Mario game, right? Collection of Metal Gear coming out. Pikmin 1 and 2 HD versions. A new Princess Peach game coming out. A remake of a Luigi's Mansion game coming out. A new Dragon Quest game. I mean, I'm keep going. I've already forgotten half the stuff. It was probably one of their best digital events they've done ever. There was so much covered in this event that sounds good. It's weird because Nintendo has been a lot silent recently on a lot of this stuff. And now to finally have a big event coming out and saying, hey, here's a ton of new games and a ton of release dates for a lot of these games, makes you feel excited again about the Switch, right? I am. It actually makes me feel like, wow, I'm going to be using my Switch a lot in the next year. So that's an exciting thing, for sure. Okay. Oh my god, just listen to this. There's an Batman Arkham Trilogy is coming out on Switch. I don't know why, but it is. It's a little late, but... Mega Man NT says the team behind Sonic Mania are going to make a new game called Penny's Big Breakaway. Oh, I certainly didn't hear anything like that. But hey, Sonic Mania is a great game, right? Okay, so that's the Nintendo Direct event. However, what I'd also like to do is I would like to do another story here that happened this morning. Todd Howard has been interviewed. And in this interview, he revealed a bunch of new information about Starfield. And it answered a lot of questions based on speculation that I had about the game, and that's why I want to cover this, all right? I'm just going to go right through this. So this is Todd Howard's interview about Starfield. Point number 1, there will be no ground vehicles or animal mounts whatsoever in the game. The only way to get around is to walk or use the jetpack. Now, the jetpack is cool, and I'm glad to hear that there will be a way to maneuver around besides just walking, but let's be honest here. Why would you not want vehicles? I mean, even going back as early as Mass Effect 1, they had the Mako. And the Mako sucked, but at least it was an interesting way to get around the planet, right? The fact that they've decided on no vehicles in this game baffles me. How did you not think people would want vehicles in space? That's pretty dumb. What I'm nervous about is that this game's going to be a lot of time killing because you have to walk and or glide around with the jetpack, and it takes forever to traverse things and or explore because you're not in a vehicle. That's stupid. I feel like the best way to explore a planet is to jump in your vehicle, have a scanner, and the scanner will tell you where the important stuff is so you can drive to it. Now I'm walking on foot like an asshole for hours on end on a planet that has 2 important things on it, but I don't know that, so I waste an hour on it, right? I think it's pretty dumb, and it might sadly be a bad design choice. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying initially this sounds like a bad design choice in my opinion, okay? Number 2. The Constellation crew are your 4 main companions in the game, and they are all romanceable. I don't care about that, but a lot of people do. So there's 4 romanceable companions in the game, and it's your main Constellation crew members. Okay? Number 3, there is no fishing in the game. That's absolutely unacceptable. As you know, I love fishing in video games. And every time that we have a game like this, where we have opportunity to fish, it better well be fishing. You better stick a line on a rod, cast away, and start catching some indigenous life. I'm very upset with Todd Howard that he thinks he can make a game like this in 2023 with no fishing. In fact, I'm going to have to write him a formal complaint letter and send it to his home about 400,000 times to see if he reads it. Probably not. But I'm pretty upset because, you know, I would have loved doing some nice chill fishing with all of you, and now it doesn't exist in Starfield, and that's a huge oversight in my opinion, a huge lost opportunity. Number 4, and this is one, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to go back to the Starfield recap reactions that I did. All right? And I'd like you to hear what my opinion was, because what I said directly was, when they said, oh, there's 1,000 planets in the game, right? What did I say? I said, oh, they claim there's 1,000 planets, but that's a cop-out, because I guarantee you, here's what they're going to say. Anything you can land on is a planet. And there's going to be asteroids, there's going to be moons, there's going to be barren shit in this game that you can land on that they're claiming is a planet, and it's not. And I said, really, the question here will be how much will be meaningful content? And what did I say? I said, I guarantee you probably about 1/10. So if there's 1,000, there'll probably be 100 actual planets you can land on and have content. And what did I say? I said, out of that, how much you want to bet? Like 10 of them will be really, you know, well-developed planets with tons of story and a bunch of different towns and locations. And some of them will be a planet where there's like one major town and that's it. And it's just there to kill some time and it's not a major thing, right? So, that's what I said. Ladies and gentlemen, I shit you not, this morning, Todd Howard said in an interview, 10% of the planets of Starfield have life on them. Did I hit the goddamn nail on the head or did I not? I actually got the number completely correct. I said 100 out of 1,000. He says 10% of the planet. I was correct. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know how these people work. I know how they fucking think, right? Oh, 1,000 things you can land on. That's 1,000 planets. No, it's not, asshole. That's 1,000 boring things. 900 things there's no point on landing because there's probably one mineral on the fucking thing, right? And 100, and that's the funny part too, is 100 have life on them. That doesn't mean anything. You could have a planet that's a bunch of, creatures on it, and there's nothing on that planet but the creatures, right? So, yeah, I know how this game's going to work, and I'm telling you right now, this is all smoke blowing up our butts about how many worlds there are to explore and all the time. It's all going to be a time waste. There's definitely going to be people who are going to do it, but it's going to be a waste of everyone's time. It's going to be, meaningful content, will very much be well documented, and you'll know where it is, and you'll be able to go there. If you feel like exploring the other planets, you can, and you'll be wasting a lot of your time doing it, right? So, I couldn't believe how dead on correct I was about that one. Number 5, there's a radio station local to one location. I don't even know what that means. I mean, I guess someone were asking, will there be radio stations like there were in Fallout? And he says, well, there's one. So maybe there's one radio station in the game. I'm not sure. Number 6, Starfield will be a modder's paradise. Meaning even though all the things that Todd Howard is saying will be correct for launch, they're going to allow modders to mod the game just like they did with games like Fallout 4. And therefore, there's going to be public mods available where you can get and modify the game and add new content to it. I'm all for that. Because let's say in a year's time, someone creates a bunch of vehicles and things, and now the game is interesting and more better to traverse and everything. That's cool. But I am concerned about what's going to be there at launch. You shouldn't rely on the mod community to make your game better. You should make your game good at launch, and then if the modder community decide to throw in their effort into this game because they like it so much, well, then good for them. But you shouldn't be relying on the mod community. And I'm almost getting the feeling, the fact that the reason he said that was because that's exactly what they're doing. They're like, oh, well, we're just going to trust that the modders are going to make this game much better. Well, how about what I paid for, right? Okay, continuing on. Number 7, you can customize stolen ships, but they have to be registered first. I don't really know what that means. So I guess you do one of those space battles, you take over a ship, you have to register the ship, and then you can modify it. But I don't, is there a limit to how many ships you can register? I'm going to guess yes, because that's the thing. Do you really think they're going to let you have an unlimited fleet of ships? Of course not. Probably what's going to happen is they're going to say, oh, you can have 5 ships, right? That's probably what they're going to say. 5 ships, that's it. So I guess we'll see. The outpost and shipbuilding systems are very deep and complex. They're intended for later in the game. Well, that's kind of silly. Why are they later in the game? Right? I don't know. That's what he said, though. And then finally, surveying planets and systems earns you money. So it's not just like you're doing it for the sake of doing it to catalog everything in the game, but it doesn't add anything. In this case, it sounds like it's actually going to add, like you're going to make money doing it. You see, you'll actually get something out of it, which I guess is a good thing, right? So I guess we'll see as we get closer to the game if there's more and more information. But some of that stuff sounded good. Some doesn't sound so good. I think what's going to happen is we had the smoke blown up our butts during that Starfield presentation, you know, a week or 2 ago. And now what's going to happen is reality is going to smack us in the face a little more and a little more the closer we get to the reality of the release of this game. And, you know, you're not going to, you know, everything he said was not truthful, which is sad. But, you know, they always overpromise and underdeliver on this shit. I don't know why they do that. But, yeah, 1,000 planets. Oh, by the way, only 10% of planets have anything on them. Well, thanks for being honest now after you already said there's 1,000 planets when there aren't. You're a liar. Right? Anyway, that's the news. Nintendo Direct was huge and positive, and the new interview with Todd Howard was a mixed bag. So I hope that was interesting. Okay? Now what we shall do shout-outs. Let's do some shout-outs, everybody. So we'll start off today on the YouTube side of things. Our first contribution on the YouTube side was from Bookworm, who re-upped his membership for 13 months and said, Final Fantasy 16 is finally here. Happy Dinosaur Month. There you go. I have no idea what Dinosaur Month is, but thank you, Bookworm. Remember, a great way to support DSP Gaming today would be gifted memberships. We're going to have more people on stream today than usual, and we're going to have a different crowd than has been here for Street Fighter 6. Today would be an outstanding day if you wanted to support this channel and its content to give some memberships to the community. Okay? Just throwing that out there. Bloomkit did a super chat. Says, hope you enjoy the game. Final Fantasy 16 is looking mighty good. I'm glad to hear it, and thank you for the support. Jared did a $10 super chat. And he says, Nintendo Switch has a deal right now. The voucher codes deal, you can get 2 games, like Super Mario RPG and Pikmin 4. It's $114 or $120 pre-order. I don't get it. What's the savings there? Are you saying it's $6 savings? That's not much. Unless you're saying, at one point, I know what Nintendo was doing was a buy 2, get 1 free kind of deal, where you would buy 2 games, and then you get a voucher for a third completely for free. Now, I don't know if that's what they're doing now or not. I'm a little confused, but I guess if you're interested in Nintendo games, now would be a time to look into it, right? So there you go. X-Shooter did a super chat. He says, the Batman Arkham Trilogy. That's right. He was trying to tell me the Batman Arkham Trilogy is coming to the Switch. Thank you for that, X-Shooter. B-Boy Cyclone just re-upped his membership for a whopping 25 months, and he says they announced Star Ocean 2R. Excited to play it. Yeah, so I never played a Star Ocean game. They started in the 90s, and they've continued to this day. I never played them. They're an RPG franchise that kind of has not been on my radar, but apparently they're remaking Star Ocean 2, also for Switch, so if you're interested in that. Okay, I don't know much about it, so I can't really comment on it. Okay, and then Arkham's Best just did a $10 super chat. So I don't have a PS5. I'm excited to watch your playthrough instead. Thanks, Phil. Now, interesting you brought that up, Arkham, because guess what? I ran a poll on my day off. And this poll was kind of interesting because I wanted to gauge opinion on my viewership about Final Fantasy 16. So what I'll do now, thank you, Arkham, for actually doing that super chat because it reminded me to check out my results of my poll. What I'd like to do is take a look at the results of the poll right now. Okay. So, my poll asked the following. I'm playing Final Fantasy 16 starting on Thursday, but what about you? Let me know in the poll below. And I had 3 voting options available for the viewers. Option number 1, yes, I'm also going to play it too. Option number 2, no, I'm not going to play it, but I plan on watching your playthrough of it. Or option number 3, no, I'm not really interested in the game at all. And a very interesting result has happened. All right, I keep telling you guys, I have a huge variety of viewers of all walks of life, all different game interests, right? Right now, I might have people who are very into the channel because of Street Fighter 6, but they don't care about Final Fantasy. I might very well have a group of people waiting for Final Fantasy 16 who don't care about Street Fighter 6, right? So here's the poll results. 30% of people said, yes, I am interested in Final Fantasy 16 and I'm playing it myself. 21% of people said, no, I'm not going to play it myself, but I'm going to watch your playthrough. And then 49% said, no, I have no interest in it. And this is about 750 people who voted. Not the biggest sampling group, but still a pretty decent size, right? If you do the math, what you realize is that my viewers are kind of split right down the middle. Half the people care about this game and half the people don't. Of the people who care, about 30% are going to be playing it themselves. About 20% aren't, and they're just going to watch my playthrough of it, right? And then there's half that just don't care about Final Fantasy 16. And this is what's funny, is a lot of people say to me, well, Phil, I don't get it. Because when I take a look at your viewership, correct? And I look at how many people attend your streams, you know, on average, depending on what game you're playing, on a normal day, maybe you'll get 200-300 viewers. If you're playing a hotter release or a relatively new release, you'll probably get around 400 viewers. And then sometimes for like a big game premiere, you'll get more. You'll get 500, 600. It depends on what's going on. If it's a really special event, maybe you'll get 1,000 viewers once in a blue moon, right? With that amount of viewership, how is it that you maintain a member goal or a member total that's usually 500-600 or more, and that's way more than people who attend your streams? Also, how do you make a living doing that? Because let's be honest, that's not the biggest viewership or whatever, and most people of that size or magnitude on YouTube just can't make a living. They can't afford to make a living doing that as their job. And the answer is very simple. Because I'm not just doing one thing. I'm not doing one genre. I'm not a one-trick pony kind of a content creator. I'm kind of a jack of all trades but master of none. On one day, I'm playing Street Fighter 6, and we have a group here who enjoy my fighting game coverage, and they'll watch it and support it. The next day, I'm playing Final Fantasy 16, and we got a whole new crowd to watch Final Fantasy 16 and enjoy and support that. So on every given day, we get different people coming by supporting different things, you see? That's why I'm successful. If back in the day I had only focused on one thing, I'll be honest with you, today I'd probably be out of business. But I'm the exception to the rule, where while a lot of people were becoming more focused as specialists, I never really cared about that. You know, my content isn't about being an expert or a guru at something. It's about enjoying a variety of games, being honest with my audience, and having great social interactions every single day that I stream. And because of that, I get different people coming by for different games. I'm well aware today we will have people here all day long on stream who are interested in Final Fantasy who likely won't come back tomorrow for Street Fighter. And that's okay. You see? So, that's why I'm able to maintain a channel that has more members than viewers. That's why I'm able to maintain a channel that has as much support as it does, even though I don't get insane astronomical amounts of views on every piece of content that I put out. Because I've been around so long, I have people who come by for certain content, and that's it. And that's awesome, right? You know, thankfully, I put in the work. Put in the work over the years allows me to do what I love and keep doing it the way that I love to do it. And I want to say thank you to all of you who are here today for this special event. Thanks to everyone who's been covering everything else I've been doing and watching it and supporting it. Really, thank you so very much. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. All right? So, Arkham's Best, thank you very much for your super chat. And now we will move on to tips. But before we do, I just turned on my air conditioner because it was getting hot in here, so I'm going to turn off my fan. So give me a second here, okay? Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Now, let's switch over to the tip side of things. And here we go. We start off today with a $4.20 tip from Wumba. Thank you to Wumba for our first tip of the day. Are there Wumba fruits in Final Fantasy 16? I'm not aware. That would be an interesting crossover. Crash Bandicoot Final Fantasy. I don't think that's ever going to work. Okay. So, thinking of Wumba, who says, I can't get the game until next week, sadly, so I hope it's as great as everyone is saying it is. Me too. Like I said, the Metacritic score is quite high. Seems like everyone's really enjoying the game, so that's an excellent thing. So I received a £2.50 tip from Great Britain. It's an anonymous tipper. They said, shout out to Adam Pachiti from Cultaholic. Big fan of your work. You love it. All right. I don't know what you're talking about, but thank you very much. I'm going to count it as $2 because I don't know what the translation is of pounds to American dollars. But thank you very much for that. All right. Let's take a look because it looks like we have a bunch of small tips here. So, first of all, PlayCool92 has tipped $1. All right. And PlayCool says, honest question, to you what would make a good Final Fantasy game? How do you envision a worthwhile Final Fantasy experience? What is the criteria to cross your mind, the checklist you run, things that you want? Do you make you fulfill having played a new entry into the long-lasting franchise? Like, give me 3 major things you like and expect to see. Well, with anything, if you're playing something that's an established franchise, you have to have some similarities to previous games, whether it be recurring themes like the Chocobo or the Moogle, right? Or the crystals or certain kinds of magic use and stuff like that. Music. There's always typical themes and or songs that kind of carry through the franchise as well. Gameplay elements. There absolutely have been gameplay elements that have crossed over between the games, such as the summoned monster element actually was one of the major things that have always been retained in Final Fantasy games. So when you're looking for something that says Final Fantasy, you're looking for those things that are synonymous with the franchise. Now, the thing is, Final Fantasy has changed and reinvented itself so many times over the years that it's hard to really put your finger on what is the Final Fantasy formula. Well, if you ask me, you know, in the 90s, I'd say, oh, it's turn-based, it's a party system, it's leveling, it's customization. But then that all changed. You know, it became more action-based. It became more MMO style in a game like Final Fantasy 12. But then 13 changed it up with a different gameplay element and style. 15 changed it up. And now apparently again 16 changed it again. So you can't really say that the core gameplay elements are really what you're looking for. More like it's maybe the universe and or commonalities in the universe, correct? I guess we'll have to see. I will say this. If a Final Fantasy game doesn't have a good narrative and a good story, then it's failed. And it's sad because I do feel like there were some Final Fantasy games, for example 13, where the gameplay elements were very sound, the music was outstanding, the graphics blew you away, and the story was kind of subpar. It was a little confusing, it wasn't necessarily that interesting, and a lot of the characters were absolutely obnoxious, in which case the game doesn't feel as good as other Final Fantasies, right? So you got to kind of hit it. You have to have good character writing, you have to have an interesting plot arc, but then gameplay elements that hook you, and things that are common to the Final Fantasy franchise that keep you coming back. So there you go. That's my take on it. Okay. PlayCool's done another $1 tip. I'll read what they say in a second here. Let's get this added. Okay. Alright, he says, to answer that question, the devs came up for Final Fantasy 16 as a game respects your investing in your time in it, a game that lets you explore a vast, interesting, fantastical world, a long, epic journey full of epic, memorable scenes, amazing score, gripping narrative, characters you want to spend your time learning about. At the end of the long journey, you feel fulfilled having played the game. You know, that's pretty nice, actually. That's a sentiment I can get behind. That if you're going to invest a lot of time into a game like this, you definitely want to feel fulfilled. You don't want to feel like you spent 40, 50, 60, 70 hours on a game, and at the end it's like, wow, the ending sucked, right? Like, that would really be bad that you play that much and you invest that much into a game and then the game's like, well, I wasted your time because the ending is just dog shit, right? Okay, I could get behind that. Oh, looks like another tip is coming from PlayCool. Who says, go expecting the above, and you will love the game. It is sad RPG mechanics are an afterthought. and that the combat, while exciting, lacks the strategic depth of old games, but in the end, the result is a clear vision and focus that excels in what the devs intended it to be. Lots of inspiration from Game of Thrones, from the mood of the narrative and characters to the design of the world map and icons. It all works, in my opinion. I hope you have fun playing it. I can't wait to watch your reaction and feedback. Much love, brother. All right. Again, I have not spoiled myself whatsoever on the gameplay elements of this game at all. I've stayed away from them purposefully so that, you know, when I play it today and moving forward, it all feels fresh and interesting and not expected and or, you know, oh, I knew this was coming. I wanted to be surprised. So I guess we're going to find out today exactly how it plays and everything, right? All right. Let's continue. I got a $1 tip. Someone says, please keep me anonymous. There was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC announced yesterday in the Direct. Oh, yeah, you want to know why no one talked about it? Because fucking Mario Kart 8's like a decade old, and it's enough is enough. And I understand if you're a fan of Mario Kart and you're kind of eating it up, but I am a fan of Mario Kart. I played Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. I don't want to rebuy it again, and then rebuy it again, and then put more money towards it again. They are really milking the shit out of this game. I want a new Mario Kart. Make me a new Mario Kart. Not the same game that for a decade with DLC maps and characters. It's just it gets to the point where it's like, all right, can you put some effort in now instead of milking the same thing again, right? So hopefully they do come out with a new Mario Kart, but yeah, I'm not too excited for the fact that they're doing yet another DLC for this stupid thing, right? Okay, The Dan Man tipped me $1 talking about the submarine situation. All right. I haven't followed this thing, nor do I really care at all. It has nothing to do with gaming. It has nothing to do with anything that we would be talking about. I don't cover random current events, right? If you want to follow the submarine situation, go check out mainstream news, where apparently it's every fucking news story everywhere because they have nothing else to talk about. I don't care about this. It has nothing to do with me. Thanks for the tip. Okay. All right, so ladies and gents, we've done the shout-outs so far, all right, but we still have some extra time. If you'd like to do a little bit of Q&A, please tag me in the chat. And again, today, big premiere of Final Fantasy 16. A great way to support the channel would be possibly gifting some memberships to the community, because we lost about 200 memberships in the last week because a lot of gifted memberships expired. Yes, if you haven't noticed, I've noticed this, I've been mentioning this a lot. I like to see my community happy. I like to see people, you know, enjoying the streams, and one way that they've definitely enjoyed them is gifted membership. So if you were thinking of maybe contributing, this would be a great way to do so. Okay? Cool. Casanova says, is Splatoon 3 even a thing anymore? Seems like no one talks about it. No, I will definitely say this. Splatoon 2. When it came out, I saw Splatoon memes and things all over the place. And even for the longest time, I saw Splatoon was a big part of Nintendo culture. Splatoon 3 came out last year, right? And I did see people talk about it for, you know, about a month. And after that, it seems like what happened is, I hate to say it, it's too much of the same, right? They didn't really innovate. It's the same game again with some new weapons or whatever. They just didn't go enough to the point where it was going to get mainstream attention another time. And it didn't. It really didn't. Like, people who have Switches and like multiplayer games bought it, but it wasn't like, oh, this is a brand new thing where you absolutely must play this new Splatoon game. It didn't really seem to even have that kind of appeal. So it may be just a case where, you know, the first one was original. The second one was a lot similar to the first, but it still had wet legs. Now it seems like the franchise has lost its legs. I think a lot of people just don't really care about Splatoon anymore. You know, it's sad. If they had done something different and actually advanced it rather than just making a third iteration of the same exact formula, maybe it would have done better. But it just seems like the mantra of it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, is fine, but maybe not when you're trying to resell your same game the third time, right? Because you're right, I don't see anyone talking about Splatoon anymore. It's kind of dead in the water at this point. Jeremiah said, did you watch Digital Foundry's video on Final Fantasy 16? No. They suggest try playing it in quality mode. Performance mode is kind of unstable and has a jittering frame rate. Well, let's see what happens. I don't necessarily know if I want to play it in 30 frames. Let's maybe try it into performance, and if it really is that jarring, then maybe we'll go to quality. We'll see. Thanks for telling me, though. Bluga says, It's the same game again with different weapons or whatever. Every multiplayer shooter ever. Well, fair enough. I mean, this is not a criticism that's exclusive to Splatoon. I mean, look at Call of Duty. That's the biggest joke possible. Every year, it's literally the same exact game. I mean, they made Modern Warfare 2. They're now saying this year's Modern Warfare 3. What? What? No. What? How is? What are you, crazy? And yeah, they're the biggest. I would argue they're the biggest offender in this case. But I mean, yeah, can you, just because you're saying others do it, that doesn't make it right, right? I'm not saying other game franchises aren't guilty of this. Of course they are. But in this case, Splatoon, you know, need to do something special, and they really didn't. Play cool says, I tried both modes. Whenever the graphics are sucking, they suck on both modes regardless, so just use performance. There you go. Arkham's Best says, the performance mode actually knocks the resolution down to 720p during combat. Huh. No, Jasper has not watched Final Fantasy games. No. Evil Ants is trying Luke in Street Fighter 6. I feel like he's getting snubbed. It's a maybe for tomorrow. Maybe Luke. SPB, leasing or buying a car should be dependent on your own financial means and qualifications. You can just ask a streamer and have an intelligent answer. That's not going to happen. Casanova says you can change the size of subtitles. That's good. I'll bump them up for you guys. How many hours did I have invested in Final Fantasy VI as a kid? Man, well, I probably played it on SNES, the original cartridge. Probably played through the game 5-6 times. And there were different times when I did different things, where sometimes I'd say I'm going to commit to having one party, if possible. There were other times I said I'm going to commit to every time that we do a new part of the story, we switch the party members up completely, if possible. There were times when I grinded. There was actually a way, if you had a turbo controller, early on in the game, there's a river you go on, and you could cheat and have the game grind in a loop with a turbo controller. And when you come back in like 24 hours, all your characters are like max level. So you can actually play the game early on where every character is max level when you get them, which is kind of fun, but at the same time supremely broken. I played it a ton. Hours-wise, I couldn't tell you, but I played it a ton. I did. Jex Gaming says, I spent $109 on the deluxe edition for Final Fantasy 16, but now it's delayed till Saturday. What do you mean by that? How could the game be delayed till Saturday? It's out now. I don't know what you mean by that. No, I have no plans to buy the Apollo Justice Trilogy at this time. Maybe in the future, but not now. Oh yeah, Persona 5 has a cheat grind like that too. That's interesting. Yes, I did play Fighter's Destiny before. I've played that game. So B-Boy Cyclone says, Nintendo's voucher program lets you buy 2 games for the price of $100. You get both Mario RPG and Super Mario Wonder for $100 instead of $70 each. I thought they were $60 each. They're $59.99 each. That's interesting. So it's a little bit of a discount. Okay. We're good, CJ. Thanks for asking. I don't know if I'm playing Persona 3 Reload because it depends on a lot of factors that we don't know yet. Yes, I likely will play Super Mario RPG Remake when it comes out at some point, but I don't know if it'll be exactly when it comes out, simply because there's going to be other things to play. What is my all-time favorite SNES game? That's not possible to answer. You know, I just love so many games on SNES, you know. Games like Super Mario World, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Final Fantasy 4 and 6, Chrono Trigger. You know, just to name a few off the top of my head. JDTV says, I'm still addicted to Diablo 4. I miss your stream. Sorry, the game is too addictive. Yeah, oh, it is. I know. I know the formula of that game. It can get very addictive. Casanova says, Super Mario World is my all-time favorite, hands down. It's my all-time favorite platformer. I still, to this day, have not played a platformer that captured my sense of wonder, and or I felt was so consistently solid throughout as I felt when I played Super Mario World as a kid. So, will I get Torgal? I don't even know what that means. So, if that's a spoiler of some sort, don't answer because I don't want spoilers. Venom Snake, it's good to have you here. He says, I'm ready for Final Fantasy 16. I'm pretty sure we all are. No, I don't know anything about a Battle Pass situation with D4. Don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I like hard cider. I think it's delicious. All right, guys, last chance if you'd like to tag me and ask me a question in chat. Last chance if you'd like to get an early contribution to get a shout out before we begin with Final Fantasy 16. All right, we're going to start momentarily here. Speaking of which, a tip just came in. I got a 666 tip from an anonymous tipper. Okay. What's going on? There we go. The wrong symbol twice. The anonymous tipper says, I think you're going to really like the game. I noticed that it did get some negative buzz from people on Twitter like Jason Schreier. Hope we don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. You're able to go into the game from an unbiased perspective. I haven't seen any of it. I told you, I've purposefully stayed away so that I would not be spoiled and I'd be able to take down this game honestly and fairly and not knowing much about it, so that way I'm not going into it with unreasonable expectations or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, which is good. Excuse me. Man, my throat. I got a frog. Hold on. I was fine the whole show, and all of a sudden at the end, bothering me. Okay. There's very, very silly questions that I'm ignoring, because they're just very silly. Press the touchpad for lore in cutscenes if you want more context on areas. Who's gonna do that? Did I make homemade cookies? No, I've never made my own. My wife has made homemade cookies that were quite good, but I don't make homemade cookies. No, I do not have a fear of flying. That's the weirdest thing. Like, I have a fear of heights, but when I'm on a plane, I'm all right. It's actually only, like, heights, like when I'm on my feet, that I get afraid for some reason. I don't know if I'm playing with Armored Core 6 or not. I don't know when it comes out. I don't know much about it. I guess we got to look into it. Right now, like you know, I'm focused on the games I'm playing for the rest of this month and into July. When we do that game schedule update during the Digital Summer Party, that'll kind of give us a perspective on what else is coming up and when, and that's when we'll talk and make these kind of decisions, okay? Will I play the new Dragon Ball Tenkaichi game? I don't know. Maybe I would. If it's interesting, I like Dragon Ball. If it was a game that looked like it had meaning and was something my audience wanted, I would always consider it. Let's see here. Hold on. Dr. Oink tipped $1, says, where's my hug? You don't get any hugs. But I appreciate your tip. Thank you. Okay. Trigger says, are you happy with your React channel's growth pace? What's next for the channel after gaming, reacting, and reviews? See, it's funny. When I launched DSP Reacts in February, I actually think it grew faster than I expected. And now, basically, it's scaled back to the point where it's kind of where I thought it was going to be. I didn't expect to have, like, over 100 members and to have, you know, the amount of support that I had on that channel right away. I thought it was going to be slow growth, but instead it, like, exploded. And then it got back to kind of reasonable expectations and reasonable size. But here's the thing. For a while there, I wasn't really doing that much on the channel. But now, we had reacting to game events, right? We have the weekly show. We have some tier maker stuff coming up. There's going to be some stuff coming out at the Digital Summer Party. There's also going to be a long form react coming up in July. This Machinima one I just announced. So, it really depends on the content. If there's a lot more content to put on the channel, then it does better. If there's less content to put on the channel, it does worse. I mean, it's pretty cause and effect. When I'm busy with so many games, I don't have a lot of time to do React content, then yeah, the channel kind of falls a little bit behind, and then it kind of catches up again when there's more stuff to do. So it really depends on what's happening in gaming more so, because let's face it, the gaming stuff is always going to kind of be my focus. So we'll see what happens, but I'm pleased with how the channel's doing. Yes, I'd be happy to see more people become a member and contribute to the submissions of videos for my weekly DSP versus the Internet show. That's the one thing I think could improve significantly. But outside of that, you know, it's kind of doing around what I expected for earlier on, actually. So, Radical Jaws did a super chat, says, I'm Super Mario RPG hype, woo. Yes, indeed. I think that Super Mario RPG being remade is very exciting. Bloomkid did a super chat. Do you think AAA gaming is dying now that it takes much longer for them to come out and they usually have tons of issues during launch? Yeah, here's the thing. It's not that AAA gaming is dying. It's that the mindset of game development and or what producers are expecting out of games has changed. You know, back in the day, you know, games that got a lot of time and effort and money to develop, it would come out, it would be a giant blockbuster, and it would make a good amount of money, and they'd be on to the next game. Today, it's, okay, so we want you to pump out a game in a short period of time with a smaller budget, but it's got to be a game that has legs and has games as a service so that it's constantly making us money year after year after year, and you keep working on that game endlessly for little tweaks here or there, but we still rake in the money. And I hate to say it, it's the GTA Online formula, where GTA Online created the groundwork for this to happen, and how many games as a service games have we seen after GTA Online that are trying to emulate that and fail, right? They just don't catch on. And GTA Online really set that, sadly, the bad precedent that now has led into a decade of games trying to milk, and it's not good, in my opinion. Okay. I got another $1 tip here. Do you think DSP Reacts will do better long-term than KO Gaming did? Well, the thing is, here's the truth. With KO Gaming, that 100% was a channel designed around the old YouTube formula of ad revenue, right? It was. Like, there was no memberships at that time. There was no crowdfunding at that time. It was, hey, if you like KO Gaming, watch the videos. So I was reliant on views and ad revenue on the videos. DSP Reacts is the opposite. DSP Reacts really isn't making any money on the videos because everything's getting claimed regardless. It's about things like memberships and super chats and tips during the streams. So as long as I can maintain that, as long as the streams are doing decent when I put them out, and as long as we get a member base on that channel, the channel will be successful long term. You see what I'm saying? It's the different formulas of content creation and or support. I've changed from that old formula of being so reliant on YouTube and ads and shit that as long as my viewers continue to support what I put out on that channel, then yeah, it will continue to work. Okay. All right, guys. I think it's time. When people are asking me about UFOs, I think it's time to end the show. All right? So I'd like to say thank you for watching, everyone. Great podcast today. Definitely a different vibe today. As you noticed, I didn't mention Street Fighter 6 at all. Why? Because we're going to get back into Street Fighter 6 tomorrow. I can talk about my Blanca performance, 2 days ago on tomorrow's podcast. I have the stats, by the way. I have the updated stats for Blanca. Why do we go into that today? Why we're not going to even talk about that today. But I want to say thank you for chilling. Thanks for enjoying. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's a Final Fantasy day. It should be pretty exciting. And I'm happy to jump in. And tomorrow, I'm sure I'll be giving my thoughts all about what I thought of this initial day. So thank you for watching, and let's begin. Okay, so guys, good news. We're just going to get set up here. I need to pee quickly, and then we're going to get started. I don't need any kind of extended break or anything before we begin. But I do need to, quickly relieve myself before we start. So at least I'm feeling nice and fresh. It's always good to start with an empty tank when you're starting a new playthrough, right? Is that centered there? I think it is, right? Looks good. Cool. Let me get my controller here. There we go. Ooh. Oh, man. Pretty good art, no? Pretty good dashboard art there for Final Fantasy 16. It's pretty impressive. All right. What's up, Jade? How are you? Gavin, we're not talking about politics, so just stop right now. Stop before you hurt yourself. All right. Real quick, I'm just going to mute the mic. And I'm going to run and use the restroom quickly. This will not be more than just a couple of minutes. And then we'll be back with the premiere of Final Fantasy 16. Thanks, guys. Let's begin. I'll be right back. All right, guys, are we ready to go? Is everything good? Is the camera centered? Everything looks good? By the way, I have no idea if the camera's even a good spot for this. Again, I haven't played it yet. I haven't even looked at the heads-up display for the game at all. So I don't even know what it looks like. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I really did nothing to spoil it all, right? I stayed completely away from any information about this one to avoid any kind of spoilers of any sort. It's not a puzzle game, right? Like, it doesn't play like Tetris or something, like Bust a Move, Bubble Bobble. Here you go. No, I did not play the demo. I did nothing. I did nothing at all. I stayed away. I stayed away and ignored all spoilers of any type. So I have no idea what's happening right now. I don't even know who I am or where we are. Like, what is happening? Okay, I'm trying to unravel. Boy, this cord. How does this happen? How do wires always, like, curl and tie themselves up? I never understood it. Right? Like, Nick, thank you for a super chat. I appreciate that. And Captain DCW's here. He says, I'm actually playing it myself. I'll be back later. Sounds good. I'll be playing it all day. So if you're ahead of me, feel free to come back later today and get caught up, see where I am in the game, right? But I'll be playing it first and second streams today, all right? Thank you to Nick for the super chat. And again, guys, as you know, when I play new games like this, new release days, you know, support on the initial day is always greatly appreciated, whether it be liking this stream for engagement to send more people to it so they can find it, whether it be, you know, a super chat, a membership, a gifted membership, a tip. It's all appreciated. Thank you in advance. All right, let's get started. I'm going to do a little bit of an intro for the YouTube viewers, and then we're going to jump into the game, okay? All right, here we go. Well, hello, everyone. Phil here, and welcome to something special, because it's not every day when a new iteration of Final Fantasy is released. They take their time with these. You know, in the entirety of me being a YouTuber, almost 15 years at this point, I've only played 3. 13, 15, and now 16, okay? And boy, are they different, right? It seems like these days, whenever they make a new Final Fantasy game, they are going out of their way to reinvent the wheel and make it a little different and make it feel like it's a completely different gameplay experience, which I'm okay with as long as the games are good. And, you know, I've experienced various different levels of success with that over the years. Really depends on the iteration. You know, I think 13 had great gameplay, great graphics, great music, and a subpar story. I think 15 actually was a great game, but sadly felt unfinished, right? Finally here, we got Final Fantasy 16 here in 2023. I'm on release day here today playing with all of you on my PlayStation 5. I'm excited to see what they've done with it. However, in an unprecedented move, okay, I have stayed away from any information about this game. I'm serious. Like, I didn't play the demo. I've only seen maybe one piece of promotional stuff, and it was about showing how the summoned monsters can fight in like fighting duels and stuff. I've really actively tried to stay away. Why? Because I feel like too many games get spoiled these days. And I knew people were going to want to see me play the new Final Fantasy. It was kind of a shoo-in for a playthrough I was going to do. And I'm like, well, then why on earth do I want to spoil myself on everything coming up? And I've heard some things here say, you know, from my audience or whatever. But for the most part, I don't know what to expect. We're jumping in cold turkey here today, and I'm very excited to see how that goes. Thanks for being along for the ride with me. If you like this playthrough and or if you like my content in general on the channel, these are the early parts of the playthrough. These are the best parts to support, whether it be liking a video, leaving a comment on a video, liking a stream, maybe doing an early piece of contribution like a super chat or a super thanks on the video, becoming a member, gifting some memberships to your fellow viewers on the channel. All these things are tremendous to help a new video game playthrough. I'm hoping it's good now. You know, I'm here for the long run. We bought it. I'm ready to go. So without further ado, let's boot her up. It's Final Fantasy 16, folks. I like this art, by the way, right? I'm digging that art on the title screen there. I think it's really well done. Make that a little bit bigger there. And it looks like a tip came in while we were booting up here. I got a $20 tip from Dan the Man, who says, hey, Phil, what's going on, Dan the Man? It's good to have you here. Welcome to the premiere of Final Fantasy 16. Thank you for the early support. Let's get that up on the leaderboard as the game... Oh, we already got settings that we need to mess with here. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's get the end of the man on the leaderboard first, though. Let's see. And so... Screen brightness. Let's leave the default for now. We might need to change it later. Subtitles on for sure. Wireless controller vibration. Yeah, let's leave that on. Voiceover language, English, game performance. Oh, allocate system resources to frame rate or graphical quality. So graphics. How do I change this? No, that's... How do I change it? Frame rate. Oh, you can see the difference, actually. Wait a minute, I can't go back? Now I can't go back. What is going on here? Look. I actually can't go back. Well, what the hell? I don't get it. I'm sure, look, here's the X button, which is supposed to be the select button here. Or is it circle? No, it's not X or circle. It's not square. It's not triangle. It's not the shoulders. How do I change it? we just started. Use the D-pad. Oh, they want you to use the D-pad here? They want you to use the D... Then why does this exist? Why does that exist if they want you to use the D-pad? I think we'll start with frame rate. If we notice there's major problems, we'll switch it. But I think I want to start with frame rate or performance mode. Visual alerts. Enable on-screen waveform that will provide visual representation. Nah, we don't need that. That's for accessibility. Okay. Story-focused or action-focused. Begin the game equipped with several accessories that simplify gameplay. Recommended for players who are less comfortable with action games but want more story or action. I mean, they were going to be action-focused, right? Begin the game with standard equipment. Yeah. Definitely action-focused. Okay. All right. Let's do it. And by the way, please, guys, let me know about the volume.
Moss the Chronicler, who said that the land of Valisthea is blessed in the light of the Mother Crystals.
Oh, the Mother Crystals! I love the Mother Crystals. I rub them all over my
finally led our forebears out of the darkness.
Our forebears?
Yet, what they saw in the light gave rise to temptation.
Oh no, greed.
Temptation.
Temptation and greed.
It ever lures us back into the crystal shadow. And thus did our journey begin.
Here at Downton Abbey, the dwarves dug too deep and too greedy. Wait, what is this? This is not Downton Abbey, nor is this Lord of the Rings. The summoned monsters are fighting. La la la. Hello, Arthur. La 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 la. La 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 la. So this is Phoenix fighting with Ifrit, right? The two summoned creatures. Oh, Fireball! I'm supposed to be playing? Fireball and evade with R1. Now, wait a minute. Are we literally fighting fire with fire? Hold on a second here. We are, aren't we? Evade! We're fighting fire with fire. I don't know if this would really work. Ifrit! I guess this does look like Gandalf fighting the Balrog, doesn't it? This is like Gandalf fighting the Balrog in Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. As they're falling deep into the earth. It totally looks like the same scene. Wait a minute, why does Ifrit have that face? Ifrit doesn't have a demon face like that. Like, that was like a dragon or something. That was weird. Ooh, ooh. was exciting. What was he dreaming? Ah, the year of 873. It was a good year. Good vintage. The ZZZZ. Whoa, are we a bunch of bros? Are we gonna go out cruising in a vehicle? Right? Checking out all the mechanic chicks.
Camps have begun to stir.
And the chicks dressed in chocobo uniforms. Come on, bro.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant.
No one else. Where's the fun in that?
Up the volume. I mean, I can a little, but this is almost maxed. Now the volume literally is
Our
maxed.
kind do not question orders. We follow them. Try to keep that in mind.
Maybe able to change it once we're in the game itself, but right now we're stuck where it is. I actually have a maxed volume right now.
Let's get this done.
How cute. They all have matching facial tattoos. Did they get those, last week? Who's out cruising, they're bar hopping, they decided to stop by the local tattoo joint.
Focus, Wyvern. You are key to this mission's success.
Yes, Sergeant.
You arsehole. Alright, well we got full 60 frames right now.
I said focus, White.
So now let's take a look at our settings for the first time. Okay. Okay, that's great. Save is right off the bat. Gameplay, action focus, wireless controller vibration, target lock, camera sensitivity, screen brightness, frame rate. Here we go. Master volume. We're just gonna pump this up. All right. Why not? Let's do 100, and then I'll do is I'll lower this back to kind of where it was because I don't want this to blow out everyone's ears when I play other games. But let's see if pumping up master volume to 100, if that made it better. Why on earth would they have master volume lower? How does that even make sense? I don't know, but we've maxed it now. Subtitles. We want large subtitles. We want subtitle background. Yeah, why wouldn't we? We want speaker names. Yeah, we want that too. We're not going to do the hearing impaired because that's going to be like, oh, someone farted in the background, and we don't need to know that much detail. But I think everything else makes sense, and we'll just leave everything on default here for our controller. All right. So now, oh yeah, now I can actually lower my headphones. See, it actually did pump up the volume significantly. Okay. All right, ready? Disable controller audio. Can you do that too? Because I don't like controller audio. You're right. I actually don't like it when the controller plays stuff. Does it have that? Oh, controller audio. Yeah. Because that's annoying because if it plays through the controller, you might not hear it. Like, I might hear it here, but you might not actually catch on to it. You see? So we'll disable the controller audio. I just don't even understand why they ever implemented that in any game. It's kind of silly. All right, here we go. Let's go for a walk. Movement, camera. There you go. Press the start button at any time to open the main menu. Gameplay configuration settings, including camera inversion, are in the system tab, but we already did that. I'm already
Don't
ahead of
have
you.
time for this. All hell is about to break loose.
I don't have time for it either. Oi!
Time to move.
Alright, now we can run. Literally, I'm never going to walk in this game. You know I'm always going to be full tilt run, right? Like complete full tilt. Okay.
We're just in time.
Look at this. A full-scale ground war. The Republican Army front lines instantly dead. So it's kind of like barbarians against almost kind of looks like a Arabian stuff fighters. You would have the saber swords and stuff like that. The Arabian Knights against like the Vikings or something. Quickly! Use all of our MP in the first seconds of battle! Oh! Don't worry, we didn't bother rendering details on their bodies, nor give them names. They're all just fodder. Whoa!
These Iron Blood are more beast than man.
Iron blood?
The way this is going, they won't need this new dominant of theirs.
What's a dominant?
What?
Biast Biased? How do you say this guy's name? Biast Biased? Your name is Clive. Let's see what all their names are. The Zernitra Stronghold.
To the gates! Quickly! Move!
What do you mean you refuse? Did you not pledge your swords to our cause?
Come now. Marshal, the King of Waloed is our guest.
Waloed? Waloed?
And you have His Majesty's answer.
I'm gonna get rid of my leaderboard here. It seems to be blocking some of the subtitles. There we go. Not gonna need that anyway, probably. Milk that crystal. Spike the drink. What the? This game promotes smoking? That's not good. I'm contacting the Truth Committee immediately to make some commercials about this. Don't you know what smoking mana crystals does to your lungs?
I wonder
How
that
blue
you
they
summoned
look?
us at all. Have you so little faith in your own men? It was the Dalmex who drove back the Crusaders in the Battle of the Twin Rocks.
What's wrong with her face?
Was it not?
Her face is like way too small for her head. It's like shriveled to
Am I
the bottom.
mistaken?
You notice that? Her face is like at the bottom half of... Yeah, look. Like her head is gigantic on the
Your
top half. What is going
has
on?
yet to take the field. And when he does, our knights would only get in the way.
Perhaps you have not heard, but the Iron Blood now have their own dominant. We would be fools to underestimate them.
Bugger their knights.
What did you say?
Ah! Jesus, look at the size of this guy.
Citadel be allowed to fall? The capital will lie exposed.
Well-built man. They don't want you to know his name yet.
And I doubt the Crusaders will wait for the good king's pawns to line up before taking to the board.
The smoker. See, he's smoking already. 2 different smokers in this game within the first, like, 5 minutes. I'm very upset. And secondhand smoke.
Just
Right?
leaves me.
On top of that.
Hookah!
The Iron Blood will rule the day they set foot on Storm. This game is over.
Okay. So obviously we got some kind of crazy political fight going on here. Why is her head so deformed? Her face. Why does she move like that? Look at that. She walks like her pants are too tight.
You cock.
She can't move her legs.
Benedicta.
Ew. Wow, it's like holding a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Take care.
Does the lion take care
Wow.
when he chases
Look at the
hare?
scale.
Or do you think me one of the latter?
No, my love.
Oh my god.
You are a lion. You're my lion.
I'm absolutely
I'm
revolted.
not afraid
Look at
of
this
little
disgusting
frost,
behavior.
Benedicta. But I will need someone to warm me when I come home.
Wow. You know, they said it was going to be like Game of Thrones. I didn't know they were actually going to copy the scenes. There you go.
The front lines are gone.
Uninstall the game immediately.
Chaos will conceal us.
Oh! Uninstall. I'm not convinced she's a human yet. I think she's like a goblin in disguise. A goblin wearing a human suit. That's what I think. Alright. So there's actually some game here. It's not just going to be cutscenes. That's good to know. I thought it was another Telltale game or something. We all know how those went. That company. What is the ruins, right? Those ruins in the landscape. What is it in Final Fantasy games? Everything's always ruined. The land of ruin, the ruins from the past. Why not a Final Fantasy game where everything is like modern and working properly and not like broke in the past and now you just see the ruins of it in the present? It's a little weird, isn't it? Kind of a running theme. Here we go.
And quick and deadly, as always.
Tiamat.
Take the van.
Tiamat is used to be a boss, actually, in Final Fantasy. If I remember correctly, Tiamat was like a dragon boss. We got Clive, Tiamat, Wyvern. Oh, these are code names, maybe? Maybe it's their code names. Whoa. Okay, that's a large hand. Is that Titan? It's Titan. I called it.
So the Darmok's finally grew tired of being slaughtered.
Summon the Titan.
And look who's here to greet the bastard.
Shiva.
Come on.
So the summon monsters are all gonna fight. I guess the summon monsters are like gods in this game. That's what it seems like. Let it go, let it go. Gonna freeze these armies, yo. Would you like to kill a snowman? Yes. So we got the chocobos. The chocobos are back. Damn, look at Titan. That does not look like any Titan in a previous game. It's like the Hulk. Takatiyama missiles! Let's see who gets that reference. Oh, that's what I always do when someone's shooting projectiles at me. I punch them. Very effective. Cutscene Simulator 2023. You remind me of something. I don't know who you remind me of. Oh shit! Look out, you arseholes! Run! Oh, like, oh, he dashed. The game will have a dash mechanic now.
You don't get to die here, Wyvern. Move!
Camera, jump with X. Woohoo! Woo! What the fuck? What the fuck? What do I do? I guess I go this way. Oh! Oh, you slipped and tripped. Oh! My God. Oh my God, here's what's going on. Explosions, dust. There's so many effects on the screen. Fuck, 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 fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck. I can say the F word because it's rated mature. Fuck, 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 fuck you, fuck me. Oh, shitty balls and ass.
Who's gonna stand there?
Ooh!
Wyvern! Wyvern! I told you before, you do not get to die here.
Why did you tell me that before? Oh, I see. I need to be emotionally invested in the cutscenes of the characters we met 5 minutes ago. I understand. Well, now I get it, because people were like, the intro to the game's 2 hours long, and that's why I decided to play this game all day today on launch day. I'm kind of glad I did, because here we are 25 minutes in, and we haven't even played the game yet, right? Like, we haven't even touched the game. It's all cutscenes. Wow, that rock hit him so hard, he got sucked back to the past. 13 summers earlier, the year of 860, Rosalind, the Grand Duchy of... I didn't get to read the rest of it.
Well, if you're not cut out to be a shield, there's always work for you in the stables. Unless, of course, you think you can defend your master while sat on your arse in a puddle of pig sweat.
My arse.
I'm sure he'd find a way. My brother always looks after me. Right?
Go on. You're sure
There's
to get him
a
eventually.
doggo.
Don't give up now.
A puppy doggo. Oh, that's cute. What's wrong with their faces? Their faces look like they didn't finish developing them. Right? Like we were modeling the characters and we kind of gave up halfway through and just threw it out there. Right? Looks kind of weird. Oh shit, we're playing? Wait a minute, we're playing the game now.
Start again from the beginning. Come, show me your form.
Show me your form. Attack the Lord Commander. Alright. Press square to perform a melee attack. Up to 4 attacks can be changed together. Alright, here we go. Ready? I'm gonna run away now. Fuck this. Can we escape the Lord Commander? I can't even rotate the kit. No! I don't want to fight the Lord Commander. He's big. He's a big brute. He's twice my size. I'm some kind of a girly man. I'm not gonna stand a chance against him. No, don't advance. I don't accept your advances. I'm getting out of here. Come on, guys. Out of the way.
Come on.
Open the gate.
Concentrate.
Open the goddamn gate. Look, there's a gate right there. Open it. I'll strike the gate. I'll try to escape. No, no, no. Don't attack him. No, no, no. Get out of here. Shit. Oh, lock on with L1. Oh, okay. So, wait, what's that glowing blue shit in the background? I want that. There's an item back there. That's more interesting to me than this guy. I see attack. You jump. Can I do a jumping attack? I can, but I completely missed. What the hell? Look at this. Why are you floating? Look at that.
Good. Again.
The combat is weird. You're like floating when you do it. Well, that combat is actually really weird.
Very good. Such swordsmanship will serve you well in the field. But can the same be said of your spellcraft? The flames of the phoenix burn within you. Now let them burn.
So you have
without.
fire magic?
Come, Clive. Rain fire down upon me.
Channel your inner flame. Press triangle to cast fire, a ranged spell that can strike enemies from a great distance. Oh! And just take it right off your chest. You charge it? No.
Keep them coming.
It's fast. Fast spells, right?
Well done. You wield the Firebird's flames just as a first shield should.
You flatter me, my lord.
Or would you rather I flattened you? Can be arranged. Let's see if you can elude my blade. After all, your attacking prowess will count for naught if you don't live long enough to use it.
Okay.
On your toes, Lord Rossfield.
On my toes? You don't want me standing on my toes. That's not very effective in combat. Evade 4 times by pressing R1. Evading an attack at the precise moment it is dealt temporarily slows the enemy, making it more susceptible to a counterattack. Okay. Ah, fuck. I wasn't ready for that.
Read them.
You gotta tell me when you're gonna strike, you ass.
Oh, to be so young and fleet of foot.
Nice try.
Precision dodge. Precision dodge.
Good.
Okay.
Remember, Clive, your blade is not your only weapon. quickness of thought and fleetness of foot are indispensable arms in any shield's arsenal. But you are not just any shield, are you? Show me what sets you apart from the rest. You have been blessed by the Phoenix.
Wow.
Granted the use of its power. Call upon that power now to close on me.
By the way, where's this facial tattoo?
Well,
right.
I'm waiting.
All right, I have a couple of shout outs to do quickly. Gavin, thank you for the $1 super chat. I appreciate that. And then I received a $6.55 tip from Patrick. I'm excited to see you play the game. I heard you have bone pain issues. Good luck with that. Okay. I'm not sure where people hear stuff. But anyway, thanks for the tip. I don't even know what's going on. I'm just going to be like, okay, whatever. All right, thank you, Patrick, for a $6 tip. I appreciate that. I'm being told Type B controller scheme is superior. Well, let's try Type A first. If I don't like it, then we'll do Type B. How does that sound? Sound good? Okay, thank you for the support so far today, everyone. All right, here we go. So what am I doing? Close the gap. The blessing of the Phoenix grants Clive the ability to perform feats of inhuman strength and dexterity. Phoenix Shift is an iconic feat. It's spelled completely different from how you would think iconic is spelled. Press circle to swiftly close in on a target. Melee and range attacks can be used while executing a Phoenix Shift. Dashing Slash.
Fly at your foe before he can raise his gun.
Dashing Fire. Dashing Slash. Okay. Alright.
Impressive. But even the most agile shield cannot hope to escape every blow. And death may come by a handful of cuts as easily as it comes by 1,000. There is only one way to ensure that you do not fall. Keep your wounds mended and your energies replenished.
So how do you heal?
Speaking of which, my lord, you seem a little worse for wear. Now, that won't do at all.
Okay. Mend your wounds. Consumable items like potions and tonics can be used to restore Clive's HP and temporarily boost his attributes. Consumables are assigned to the D-pad via the item tab. Alright. So what do we got? A potion. Absolutely delicious. What about a high potion? Oh, it's even more delicious. Tastes like cherry.
Better.
Cherry flavor.
Battle is a succession of pivotal moments, wherein life and death can be decided at a single stroke. You must be ready to utilize every tool at your disposal.
That's correct.
If you are to navigate a path.
Thank you, Orcs with Dorks, for 25 months of
At the very
support. I
least,
appreciate that.
To ensure that you live to fight another day. Enough practice. It's time for the test. You've
Ooh,
recovered
I
from your
hate
soaking,
tests.
I trust. You wouldn't want to kick a man while he's drowned.
I thought you'd never ask.
Come then, Lord Rosfield. Spar with me.
All right, we have to fuck him
If
up.
you believe yourself worthy to be called Shield of the Flame, then prove it.
As you wish, my lord.
Here we go.
How that, me boy? Make proof of your strength.
How about you? The will gauge indicates an opponent's will to fight back, break their spirit by landing attacks, and strike them when they're vulnerable.
Go on. You're sure to beat him this time.
You can do it, Clive. Just stay calm.
You're taking this seriously.
Keep going, Clive.
Oh! Did it say shit strike? Take down shit strike. Stagger your enemies. Lord Murdoch's will has been broken, leaving him staggered. Try dealing as much damage as you can before he regains his senses. Use R2 plus square to execute Rising Flame, an iconic ability granted Clive with the Blessing of the Phoenix. Oh, Rising iconic flame thing.
Well, it's time I took my own advice and used all the tools at my disposal.
Oh, no. Ooh.
Go on, Clive. Keep pressing.
damnably quick learner, Lord Rusfield.
Oh! Ooh, Rising Phoenix! Amazing. What's up, Tyler? Wow, they're applauding.
See? I told you he could do it.
Aye.
Bested at last. It's taken me long enough. That was a display worthy.
His face is like a child's face on his body.
You are a true shield of the flame, and let no one tell you otherwise. Including me. What are you lot gawping at? Back to your drills.
It's kind of like how Ellie's face looked way too young for her body in The Last of Us 2. They just didn't make any effort in actually making her look older, right? It's just weird. His face looked like a child's face on a teenage body, right? Maybe just got a baby face. Baby face. Hey, wait a minute. Did I give you permission to cast white magic on me? Who knows what you just cast?
Joshua. I was just tired. The Phoenix's flames are a gift. I mustn't waste them.
It isn't a waste. My shields look after me. Why shouldn't I?
Uh-oh. A sickly brother.
Coughing this morning too. You shouldn't be outdoors.
We'll be fine. It's just a cold.
Push
Joshua?
yourself.
His Grace has returned.
Father's back.
Hey.
Carliga says you can press the touchpad at any time.
Please, this is no place for one such as you.
Wrong.
I would gladly brave hell itself.
Wrong.
To see my darling boy.
Duchess Annabella. Dude, none of their faces look good, right? Their faces look like they have low detail on them.
Loyalty.
Thank you, Your Grace. We live to serve.
Joshua. You should not be out of doors. We have discussed
What's
this.
she doing? Does he stink? She's like, oh God, you smell. I have to cover my nose. Oh.
Good day to you.
Reeks.
Mother.
Go wash this child. Ew, you. I hate you.
Come, Joshua.
Despise you.
Your father will be expecting us.
Come, Joshua. I smell bullshit in
You're
heaping
murdered.
amounts.
Your Grace.
What a way to treat your own flesh and blood.
I know. It's not his fault. Not everyone can be born the Phoenix.
Why are you staring at me?
We should join them.
Who the hell are you? Why does he have a child following him? What is going on? No, seriously, I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. Their faces look weird, don't they? For like modern games in the last 5 years, the character detail has been so high, and in this game it looks like the character detail is like really low. Like every monster looked more detailed than them, right? Like he's all right, I guess, but still. Oh, by the way, is it a black chocobo he's riding? No, it's a white chocobo. White chocobos restore your MP. So if you ride a white chocobo, do you have infinite MP?
Right,
You can just blast
my
spells off the
friends.
top of it and never run out.
Welcome home. Yes, Father. Much better. Today, Jill and I went to the bay to watch Clive's spa.
Is that so?
You're excommunicated for disturbing us.
Father.
Oh, you're my son? I forgot about
Lift
you.
up your head, girl.
Thank you, Your Grace.
The capital rejoices at your safe
I guess they're not
return.
cat people, huh?
Grace.
They're dog people.
War is coming, my boy. We must make ready.
Is that Sean Bean? It's Sean Bean, isn't it? He's in every one of these.
Come to the throne room. We will talk there.
No, that would be hilarious if it was. I know it's not. That would be hilarious if they got Sean Bean to be this guy, and then this guy dies within like the first hour. That would be absolutely fucking hilarious.
Shields dismissed.
Ooh, a nice butterfly. Oh no. And now your first mission. Find Torgal, who ran off to follow a butterfly.
Where do you think you're going, hmm? Clive here is off to see the Archduke.
Right.
Wow. The Archduke? What am I going to see him for? And when do my balls drop? Sunrise, sunset. So, ladies and gentlemen, Final Fantasy 16 has begun with a narrative trope known as in medias res. If you don't know what in medias res means, it means you started the story in the middle, but then the story decided to flash back to the beginning, which now you will play from the beginning, and then at some point the story will flash back to the present to get you caught up on current events, so give you a taste of things to come just to go back in time and tease you. It's called in medias res. I learned about this in high school. It's a very, very commonly used narrative trope, okay, just so everybody knows. But in the meantime, it is time for a shout out because I've received a $20 tip from 1 Minute Man. And I just want to say thank you to 1 Minute Man for your daily support of all of my content on YouTube. Thank you so much for that. And let's go ahead and play the animation for you. And add that to our running total for today. That's going to get us up to $65 in tips, which means it's Gunnar Glass's time for everybody. Again, guys, brand new playthrough. And so, the earliest parts of every playthrough are the most important on YouTube. If you're enjoying this so far, I would really appreciate it if you could give it a like, maybe leave some comments, let me know what you think. Also, any contributions greatly appreciated in the early parts of a playthrough as well. Those who are here live, thanks for your contributions and support so far. I would say gifted memberships today would be outstanding, considering we have more viewers than usual. I'm sure we have some people waiting in the wings who would be very happy to accept some of those. If so, if someone decided to do that and support the channel in that way. All right. So it's Gunnar Glass's time. And then, there's another $5 tip here. This one from Gunnar Shits. Put glasses on. Hope you enjoy the game. Excited to see you return to Street Fighter this week as well. Yes, tomorrow. But today is Final Fantasy Day. We had enough of fighting in the streets. Now we're fighting in the castle courtyards, right? We're stomping. Wow, my keyboard decided to stop working right in the middle of me clicking a button here. We're stomping the commander trainer into paste, embarrassing him in front of everybody. As it goes. Alright, thank you for that. Cool. So I'm being told if you hold the touchpad, you'll get lore. Finding your way, you'll find yourself lost. Do not fret, hold down L3 and trust your animal instincts. They point you in the right direction.
Is trouble brewing?
I'm not sure.
Really? Those are my animal instincts? That's what that is? It looks like a little waypoint to me. I don't know. It looks like an animal instinct, but okay. And if I hold down touchpad, look what happens. Active time lore. You'll access active time lore feature, compilation of important information relevant to Clive's current story progression. So we're currently at Rosalith Castle. That's Elwyn Rosefield is his dad. The Archduke of the Grand Duchy of Rosaria and father of Clive and Joshua. Loved by his people for his steadfast leadership both at home and on the battlefield, which he put to good effect in quelling the rebellious northern territories. We've got Clive, firstborn of the Archduke of Elwyn, ruler of Rosaria. From a young age, Clive dedicated himself to mastering the blade, and his practice paid off when he was appointed first Shield of Rosaria, Tasked to guard the Phoenix and blessed with the ability to wield a part of its fire. There you go. Torgal. Clive's faithful friend. Brought back from one of Archduke Elwin's expeditions. I'm not reading that. Jill Warwick. Born a princess of the Northern Territories, Jill was... What is wrong with her face? She looks like a porcelain doll. Why did they do this to their faces? Seriously, look at that. Anyway, Jill was made a ward of Rosaria after her homeland's incessant raids were quelled by the Dookie. She was raised in Rosalith Castle alongside Clive and Joshua, who came to love her as a sister. So basically, it's one of those situations where these territories were at war. When it ended, they took one of the kids in. It's weird because this was in Game of Thrones and other stuff too. I guess this might have happened in like Europe history. You beat a group of people who you're warring with. You take one of their kids in or something. It's very odd. So basically, she's kind of like an adopted sister. Get it? Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Radical Jaws did a super chat. Red onions or white onions making a sandwich? Depends on the sandwich. Red and white taste different. Red is a little bit sweeter, while white will bite through flavor a little bit more. So, it depends on what's on the sandwich. So, if you tell me the other ingredients of the sandwich, I'll give you my opinion. But it really depends. Okay. Alright. So, here we are. So, I'm going to go over there. Ooh, what is this? Glowing item. Look. Finding items. Useful items are found across the realm by those who know where to look. So I got a potion off the barrel. Okay, I'm gonna look around for glowing items to grab. Here's a chocobo. Can I pet the chocobo? No. It's in full regalia, right? Very nice.
Make sure you get a good edge on that, eh?
I know. Boy, I know. What you talking about, mister? Oh, we can talk to the guard now, the ducal shield.
Nothing down there but rats and rogues, my lord.
Oi! I like rats and rogues. Let me louder there, you scoundrel, you. Alright, maybe I won't talk like that the whole playthrough. Maybe I will. Cold Cuts and Havarti.
They've closed the gates.
Let's hope the side entrance is still open.
Preparation is key.
What? Hold on. What kind of cold cuts? What kind of cold cuts? If you tell me the flavor of the cold cut, I will choose an onion for you. But I need to know the flavor of the cold cut. Oi! This way here. Up these stairs here. An apple. Who's ruining this, erasing this apple? Pick this up. Look at this. Punish this man immediately for dropping the apple. Excommunicate him.
Good as new.
Forgive me, Lord Marquess, pray do not concern yourself with this bungling cur. Bow to him, you fool. Did I say to speak?
It was no trouble. Really.
Now slap the chains on him, put him in the gallows.
To be allowed to
Put him in
stand
irons.
Your lordship's presence is more than his kind deserves. Why, neither the Empire nor the Republic treat their bearers half so well. He was lucky to be born in your father's dominion. Very lucky, as I remind him every day.
Ham, turkey, and mortadella. Oh my god. And Havarti cheese. I would go with white onions. It doesn't sound like something you need sweetness to compliment.
Continue.
Why are we talking about this?
Of course, if that is your lordship's wish.
Don't work too hard. Remember, it is for the good of the duchy that you serve.
The duchy's the dookie. It's supposed to be called the dookie, not the duchy. How dare you? Okay, I know it says. I know it's supposed to be duchy, by the way. But...
As do we all.
Come along now. Back to your duties.
That's it. The duties. Do your duties. The duties of the dookie. Why does he have the facial tattoo? What's the significance of the facial tattoo? I must find out the lore of the facial tattoo. Hold on. Here he is, bearer. Oh, wait, this is it, the brand. This is what I wanted to know. The mark applied to the cheeks of bearers across Valisthea, identifying them as something other than human. Newborn babes are checked at birth. those who are found to be bearers being branded and taken into the custody of the state. Rarely bearers evade this test, either because their parents hide them, the testers are lax in their duties, or their powers do not awaken until later, yet most do not remain unbranded for long. So if you have some kind of powers, you get branded for having the powers? Huh. Yeah, look, a bearer is a person with the power to cast magics without a crystal. In Valisthea, men and women who awaken as bearers are enslaved. They are marked with the brand upon their cheek and used as tools, a cheaper alternative to the scarce and precious shards. The system of slavery has persisted for centuries, has become so ingrained in Valisthean life, few take pity upon the bearer's plight. So, now, what's funny is, at the beginning of the game when we saw them in present day, they all had those brands on their faces. Does that mean they're all slaves? If he was the son of the Duke, or the Archduke, how did he become enslaved? Would he not be immune to the slavery? It's interesting. Interesting lore.
Looks like they're getting ready for supper.
I think someone's hungry.
A slave master? They won't let me talk to the slave master. Now they will.
My bearer filled with weapons, my lord. Best to save what crystals we can, eh?
So some people have magical powers without crystals. Others need crystals to wield the magical powers. And those who wield them without the crystals are actually considered lower class citizens for some reason. High potion. Well, that's exciting. Can't go over here. Look at this jump. Look at this pathetic jump in place. If he can't go somewhere, he's like, I can't make it. I can't jump. Actually, that's his jump. That's his jump everywhere. What the hell? I want to jump, but I can't. Gravity's too strong. Jump down the stairs. Wow. Well, don't try to jump in town. You look pathetic. Sunrise, sunset. Make for the throne room.
Nice and quiet in here, isn't it?
It is more than a skip than a jump. I agree, Pasco. It's like skipping. Tra-la-la, tra-la-lo, to the garden, here we go. What's that green shit there? What's he doing? He's using magic? He's using wind magic to trim the bush. See that? Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la, I like to skip and prance and trance and... I skip and prance, tra-la-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la. Very nice. He's your protagonist, everyone. Oh, we got an item. Hold on. I must get every item in the intro of the game. La 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 la. That's a potion. Ho ho ho. Oh, how exciting.
Do you understand? The power of the Phoenix dwells within Joshua, and Joshua alone. If any ill should befall him, it will be on your head.
Now, wait a minute.
Do not neglect your duties again.
Joshua's the younger kid, but he has the power of the Phoenix too, no? So what's up with that? Nothing new. What's up with that? Making an effort. Some large gates and stiff levers require extra effort. Use X to access them. Hold R2 to push it. You actually have to maybe hold the button to open the door? Seriously? What's up with that? Alright.
Good luck.
So the sister stays behind, the adopted sister? Alright.
You commanded my presence, Your Grace. How may I serve you?
All right, you can stop licking my boots. My mother isn't here.
Do the territories fare any better?
Most lie under a pall of black. In just these few moons, the Blight has taken an eye on all of the northern reaches.
Oh no.
It is only a matter of time before it crosses the border.
By the flames.
Nearly every available bed in the capital is already occupied by those fleeing the Deadlands. Even if we were to send them south, to Port Isolde, more would only follow in their wake. Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
Against the Iron Kingdom.
We have traded blows with them for too long. It is time to end it.
At the very least, we must secure Drake's breath.
Sounds like the first
Without
quest.
the blessing of the Mother Crystal, we cannot defend our realm from the spread of the Blight.
The Iron Blood will not relinquish it easily. This will be a bitter fight.
We ride for Phoenix Gate tomorrow. There we will listen to the words of our ancestors, as tradition dictates.
Am I to go with you as Joshua's shield?
There is something else I would have you do first. Rodney.
Bring me 3 sacks of Mr. Beast burgers immediately.
You will have heard the reports, I'm sure, of beastmen from the north being sighted within our borders.
Goblins in the Stillwind Marshes.
Goblins!
I know of the rumors, yes.
Then you know what must be done. I will give you 2 good men. While we ride north tomorrow, you will journey to Stillwind, search it, and clear it. Then you will join us at Phoenix Gate.
It is time to prove your strength. And shut your mother up for good.
I will do my duty, Your Grace.
It's the intro quest line, isn't it? All right, I'm down for an intro dungeon to get your bearings of the controls and gameplay.
That will be all. Rest well. We ride at dawn.
Yes, Your Grace.
We gotta ride tonight. My little homie Moogle died tonight. Mog is dead. How do I get out? Wait a minute. I need my animal instincts to tell me where to go. How do I get up there? This door doesn't open. Look. What do I do? You know what? Screw you, Dad. I'm going up this way. You are supposed to go this way. Okay. Do 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 do. Epic music. Amplatory says, here's 30 seconds of gameplay before the next inevitable cutscene. I'm gonna go up on the balcony here. Yes, people gather around. I have an announcement to make. I am your new leader. Screw my dad. My dad is a wimp. I bested him in combat. We had a thumb wrestling war, and I won 2 out of 3. Therefore, the kingdom is now mine. Here we are, to the bathrooms. It's dark. Having a drink. Nice and drunk.
How long
Just
will
how a
you
leader
be
should
away
be.
this time?
Not long. 4 days. Maybe 5.
And you will be taking Joshua.
Well, I can't exactly leave him behind, can I? The blood of the Rosfields runs in his veins. Before going to war, we perform the rite at Phoenix Gate. It's our way. You know that. And only the dominant can enter the apothecary, so yes, I'm taking Joshua.
Oh, to hell with your way! The boy is ill.
You think I don't know that?
What's wrong with him?
The boy is also the Phoenix. The heir to the throne. You can't keep him in swaddling clothes all of his life.
Elwyn!
Don't worry. Clive will watch over him.
I Things are gonna go horribly wrong, aren't
He's a
they?
youth of but 15 years. He's already a fine soldier. Will make a splendid shield.
You see more in him than the Phoenix did. He was rejected, Elwyn. Our household has no place for such a failure. He is worthless, a man like any other.
Jeez. So now we're getting more lore about this, that he was rejected, that the Phoenix should have been in Clive, but it somehow rejected him. What does this dominant mean? Those within whom sleeps the power of icon. It's funny how they spell icon differently. Though they look and think no differently than any other man or woman, they can not only cast elemental magics without a crystal, they also transform themselves into beasts of world-shattering strength at any moment. So there aren't summoned monsters in the game. In this game, you become the summoned monster. And you're called an icon. Okay. Second son of the Archduke of Rosaria, Joshua was appointed heir to the ducal throne by virtue of his awakening as the dominant of the Phoenix. His love and admiration for his elder brother Clive is absolute, and he's only too proud to have him serve as his first shield. His love for carrots, less so. Well, feed him strained carrots. Let's see here. Annabella Rossfield, Duchess of Rosaria, wife of Archduke Elwyn, mother to Clive and Joshua, was only her beauty but her connection to her bloodline that produced many previous dominants of the Phoenix that led to her being proposed as a bride for the young Archduke. Indeed, the two are cousins. The cousins married. Having known from a young age her purpose in life was to preserve her Phoenix-bearing bloodline, she dotes on Joshua and scorns Clive. She's pissed that Clive was rejected by the Phoenix. But Joshua was fully accepted, so she likes Joshua. He's the favorite. And also, they're kissing cousins. They're married. Alright, it's absolutely disturbing. Cousins. Crossbreeding.
As am I, my dear.
Inbreeding, excuse me, not crossbreeding. Inbreeding.
Nonsense. You are the Archduke of Rosaria.
Oh, not this again. You know as well as I do that I only sit upon the throne because my father was taken before his time. I am merely warming the seat till Joshua comes of age.
You are your father's firstborn son, and you sit upon the throne. All is in its right place. Unlike some, you have not disgraced our noble blood.
Without men like Clive to keep us safe, your precious noble blood would long since have graced the gutter. We have an early start. I'm going to sleep.
Damn, rejected. Sorry. I know we're married, but I'm going to sleep. Screw you. Wow.
This is it then. Time to prove yourself.
Wishing on a star?
I'm a little old for that. I should get some sleep.
Right.
Stalker sister.
You're going with them tomorrow, aren't you?
I am Joshua's shield. I'm sworn to protect him. He takes too many risks. I only wish I could save him from himself.
Clive, you...
I have another mission too. Father has given me my first command.
Well, if you're not going to pray to Metia for your safe return, I shall just have to do it for you.
Prayer rejected. Now she's crying.
There's going to be another war, isn't there? Since coming here, I've begun to take peace for granted. I assumed the war between our nations would be the last.
You think there's maybe like a dungeon's coming up sometime? There's some
It never
gameplay?
really ends, does it?
I'm convinced there's a game in here somewhere.
The next war will be bigger than before.
But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You're a shield of Rosaria, after all, and blessed by the Phoenix.
Metia, the burning red star that sits beneath the moon. The folklore ascribes to Metia the role of message bearer to the moon. It is common custom across Valisthea to wish upon the star. Wow. A bitterly cold region. I'm not reading that. Clive, we already know this too. All right. So technically they're not related, although she's the adopted stepsister, basically.
I should go in. My lady.
Like he wanted to touch her, and he realized that was the bad touch, and he stopped himself. He caught himself before he committed the heinous act. That's good. Lord knows we have enough Jared Fogels in this world. We don't need another one, so control yourself here. There's the red star of Metia. There it is. Very good. Did they maybe cut gameplay for time for more cutscenes? Maybe that's what it is. You know, originally there was several hours of interesting intro gameplay all cut from the game because they needed to have more plot elaboration. Ambrosia, the chocobo. I like the white chocobo. It's nice.
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll do brilliantly.
I'll try.
All you have to do is not die. Is that too hard? Don't die in the intro? Too much to ask?
Good luck.
There's a Moogle somewhere in here. Where's the Moogle? Let's play Spot the Moogle. Someone spot the Moogle. It's here somewhere. Hidden in all of this.
We ride for Phoenix Gate. May the blessing of the crystals go with us and shield the Firebird's flame forevermore.
That's a mouthful of a slogan.
Open the gates.
And they're off.
Lord Rossfield, allow me. I shall see her safely to Phoenix Gate.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I guess I'm matching outfits. How cute.
We're ready to depart, my lord.
May I say what an honor it is to serve alongside.
May I say they didn't even bother giving you names, so you guys are dying in the intro. You know that, right?
This is to be no mere investigation. If there are goblins in Stillwind, they won't leave willingly. The Beastmen are a fierce foe.
The Beastmen!
We underestimate them at our peril.
Not today, we won't.
The Beastmen? Will we fight some Spider-Men?
Sir Tyler,
Some Wolfmen?
let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
As you command. To the marshes, then.
All right.
And may the blessing of the crystals go with us.
Is there a game? Oh, what's this? The map. Make for Stillwind, it says. On the right. My camera's blocking it. The world map displays all the locations indicated by glowing pins currently available to Clive via fast travel. So I guess we're going here. Stillwind. Probably will split the part here, too. It makes sense before we do the first mission, right? Oh, wait. Never mind. I was going to split the part, but hold on. We've got a cutscene. For some variety here, we're mixing things up with a cutscene. All right? I love it. Gotta stir things up. We had a few seconds of map gameplay there. I was getting kind of bored. Got to go back to another cutscene. Oh my
Keep your eyes
god.
open for those goblins. The reports placed them in this area.
It's all swamps from here. What's your step, my lord?
And everything else.
Hey, remember how in the present there's Titan and Shiva fighting each other and all that stuff's going on? Wonder when we'll get back to that. Lost in the fog. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Oh yeah, I am definitely. I mean, there's been so much gameplay, I can't even keep my mind around it. Try giving one or more of the 5 timely accessories. For example, the Ring of Timely Strikes allows a wearer to chain complex attack combos only by using square. The Ring of Timely Focus slows time before an incoming attack, allowing for an extended evasion window. As with all items, the timely accessories can be equipped or unequipped in your gear tab. Where is the gear tab? Alright. Anyway, thank you to Jinx. Hypnotic Jinx just re-upped their membership. It says 1 month down. Many more to go. Thank you, Jinx, for your support in the last month. I really appreciate that. The Attributes tab has stuff. Gear and icons. Gear and icons tab used for equipping weapons and armor. Okay. So I have all these. Ring of Timely Focus. Time slows before an available enemy attack strikes. When equipped, Clive will automatically evade attacks as long as the attack can be evaded. When equipped, complex ability combinations can be executed by pressing square. When equipped, Clive automatically uses a potion when his HP falls before a certain point. So let's do Timely Focus. And let's do Timely Strikes. Right? Can you equip 3? You can. So Timely Focus, Strikes, and Healing. We're not going to do Evasion. I'll do Evasion manually. There you go. So basically you get pampered for the intro. And then after that you probably don't have these anymore, right? Rosarian Belt and Rosarian Oath Sword. Yes, the items tab. Oh, what a shock. There's items in there. Here's how you can equip stuff. We have potions, high potions, and a stone skin tonic. I'm assuming the stone skin probably increases your defense. Right? Shield Ensign? The fuck is this? I don't know. Your journal. Alright, gives you story progress. Lost in a fog. Alright. Yeah. Basically, I shouldn't equip those, you're saying? You can have them for the entire game. It gives you custom difficulty. Oh, forget it then. I'm going to unequip them. I thought you were supposed to equip them. People were like, nah, that's basically if you're like a wimp. Alright, how do you unequip? I'm no wimp. I don't need these shortcuts. I'm a man. Look, I'm a man. I swing my sword like a man. I jump and I dash. I fire fireballs like a man. I don't have time for this. Alright. By the way, so is there a way to manual save? Let's see. Oh, what's this? Abilities now. Ability points can be spent. So there's damage and there's also other stuff. We have 50 ability points. Oh, brother. Can we upgrade ability? What's this? Oh, we don't have enough for those. 500, 300, so we can't get these. Hold triangle to increase the potency of a magic spell released to cast. That sounds good. A jumping stomp. Look. Kick off a nearby enemy. Use R1 to recover immediately after being knocked back. That sounds good. Taunt. Hold square to imbue Clive's blade with fire. These are all good. Oh. Slowly close in on a distant enemy. Lunge attack. Man, I only have 50 right now. Let's do swift recovery. And let's do stronger magic spell. And that's all for now. Let's save points for others. So quick recovery and stronger magic spell. There we go. And then here's where we save. We manual save. Create our first data file. All right. Oh, wow, look at that. It's got 16-bit sprites to show your party members. That's neat. Look at that. Little Easter egg. All right, so everyone, thank you for a great first part of the playthrough. Let me know what you think. Leave some comments. You know, if you enjoyed it, please like the video. Much more to come. And thanks to those who were here for this first part of the stream. And let's continue on. Thanks a lot. Okay, guys, so let us now do a celebratory bubble blow, because we did hit 100 likes on the stream. And thanks to those who are supporting so far today's launch stream of the game. It'd be great if you are enjoying yourself, you would support in some way. As simple as giving the stream a like is a great way to support, but indeed, other than that, you can go above and beyond and do things such as gifted memberships, super chats, super stickers, and tips. All much appreciated to anyone who does. So far today, we have 0 memberships, but we do have some good super chats and tips, so thank you for that. All right. Let's now do some celebratory bubble blow. Ready? There we go. Thank you, thank you. No new memberships. People are saying, what about Jinx and other memberships? No, those were all re-ups, which don't count towards the channel. Those are just people renewing their existing memberships. So I mean, like, we had some gifted memberships today. That'd be great. All right, you guys ready? Let's continue. Okay, everyone, let's continue on here in our first area of the game with real gameplay.
Not exactly the most well-maintained path. And who do you imagine would maintain it?
Tyler.
They've all fled from the Blight.
Tyler, and what was the other guy's name? Hold on. Hard to believe. Ah, Sir Wade and Sir Tyler and goblins. The goblin.
Anyone used to live here? The old village of Stillwind is ahead. Not that there's a lot left of it.
Goblins. You know why they call them goblins? Because they like to gobble. They go gobble, 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 gobble as they run around. Did you know that? CJ says a bubble gun for 100 likes. We haven't used the bubble gun recently because it sprays so much bubble juice everywhere. It covers everything and makes a big mess. Now you don't want to see me interrupt my gameplay to clean. So that's why I just did standard bubbles during the between the parts there. What's going on, Airhead? Good to have you here. Is it goblin time? I hear goblins. I hear them. Do you hear them? Goblins. You idiot. Here they come. They're pretty ugly in this one.
With me.
Oh, it's hilarious. They have more developed faces than the main characters. Use triangle after striking an opponent with square to conjure magic explosion that deals significant damage. Goblin Mugger. Wow. Goblins!
We should press on.
They gobbled?
There may be more ahead.
Do 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 do. Do you like to gobble like a goblin? I hear a goblin. Multiple ways to go. No, this is dead end, right? Oh no, I want to go over here and get the item. Oh, he's frozen in place after he does that, huh? A strength tonic. Very exciting. Love the strength tonics. Goblins. You ready? There's no sneaking. There's no stealth in this.
There's more.
Some enemies drop guild or items upon their defeat, lose gather automatically. Okay. Charge the fireball. That was a charge. Ah! That was a charged fireball. That's the combo ender. You do 4 regular strikes and then a fireball to finish the combo. 1, 2, 3, 4, finisher. Oh, he already fell.
Painful.
He's dead. A potion. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Goblin, I'm a goblin.
Oye, Schwarzfield, vaya que lo eres.
R2. Wow, we had to charge that kick, huh? Hui. Goblin. So it looks like there's stuff over there. Is that where they're telling me to go? Yes. Well, I don't want to do that yet. Let's go over here. Let's see what's in this house. Ooh, 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 ooh. It's children singing. Another strength tonic. Very exciting. I'm gonna get a lot of these and start hoarding them immediately. So that's where they want me to go. Anything over there? No. Alright. By the way, I received what appears to be a $5 tip from an anonymous tipper saying, does the game have Moogle? So far, no Moogles. We've seen the Chocobo, but not the Moogle. Doesn't mean there won't be Moogle. Maybe a Moogle's a party member later. Right? That'd be pretty cool. I would love a new Moogle party member. We haven't had one in so many Final Fantasy iterations. But I don't know. Seems like they you know, in the past, Moogles were the beloved mascots of the franchise, and now for some reason, the Moogles have been forgotten and fallen by the wayside. I just don't understand it. Grim River says, I'm about to go get this myself from GameStop. Well, congrats. Please have a good trip and a safe trip getting your game. The Blimp just did a hot dog super sticker. Thank you.
Watch out, my lord. Some of their number of spells.
And what a number. We'll all have our hands full here.
So it's 4 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, and blast. Oh, he fell. Oh, you can kill them when they're down. You see that? You can attack them when they're down. Use square just as the opponent attacks to parry the strike, temporarily slowing time and leaving the opponent open to a counter. Oh, there's a magician here. No, I want to attack him. I don't know how to change the target. You haven't explained that yet? Yeah, I don't know how to change targets right now. Press the wrong button. I wanted to dodge a quick circle instead of R1. I'm going to keep pressing circle to dodge. I know I am. It's going to be a problem. Because most games, circle is dodge. There we go. Kick that shit. Hello, Greek Pimp. How are you? Insufficient inventory space. Potion auto used. Oh, okay. Sure. Do that. This way? Okay. Easy Steve did a super chat. The game reminds me of Final Fantasy 1-6 with DMC GOW gameplay. So vibes from early Final Fantasies, but definitely different gameplay style. Californian Man did a super chat. Says, how does combat feel? Honestly, feels simplistic. I think it'll get better in time. You probably have, you know, more complex things going on. It does feel very simple right now. Thank you for the super chat. Okay.
We should be nearing the old village square.
It might
You
not
freeze
be
in
a
place
nest of
after that, so
goblins.
it's not an effective dash. Will we have our first boss fight? Perhaps. I know they call it still water, but it's way too still.
We're trapped.
Sneaky sods.
Lord.
My favorite kind of sods, the
Working on
sneaky
it.
ones.
He's the leader. But we'll have to take care of his followers first.
He's got the Horn of Gondor.
Care to thin the herd? As if you have to ask.
Is there a way to deflect magic?
Stay down. Forevermore.
When they're knocked down, you can execute them on the ground. Pretty button mashy right now.
Shit! He's invited a
Oh, big boy. All right.
On your feet, Sir Wade. Here it comes.
Formidable foes. Larger enemies must be faced with caution. They have far more HP than their smaller counterparts and will often use devastating abilities to overwhelm opponents. Use the Blessing of the Phoenix to not only deal considerable damage to the enemies, but also break their will. Breaking an enemy's will stagger it, leaving it unable and vulnerable to attack. Alright, so here we go.
Founder, that's a swing and a half. Be ready to
The
move
Gygus.
when it winds up for another. You don't have to tell me twice.
Oh, the charge shot does a giant amount of stagger. That's great. Look. Hell yeah. I'll just keep doing this. By the way, there's no MP in this game at all, huh? Looks like I can use this endlessly. Alright. Enemies become partially staggered when their will gauge is reduced to 50%. Creates a short opening in which combination attacks are easily landed. I dodged. Dodge again, precision dodge. Gotta get his stagger all the way down. Working on it. Oh, that hit me? I didn't think that would hit me from that distance. Okay. Completely reducing an enemy's will gauge staggers it. Extra damage dealt when the enemy is staggered, increasing each strike landed up to 150%. The total amount of damage dealt during the time is displayed upon the enemy regaining its senses. Combo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Combo. Oh. Didn't do that much. Man, this thing's a tank, huh? Oh. I'm underestimating its reach.
I'm in your debt.
Oh shit! I parried. By the way, I just realized its whole energy bar is blocked by my camera. So what do I do here so that my camera doesn't block stuff? I actually don't know where to put it because the energy bars are both going to be on top. I guess maybe if I lower my camera a little bit. Be like right here, I guess. This might work. Let's see. Because obviously you guys can't see his health bar, right? I'm surprised he didn't say anything. Music is epic. Alright, let's see how this looks. Ready? Oh, shit, I wasn't ready. I totally wasn't ready. Oh, I got hammered. Okay, Tiger time.
Stay the course. Not quite. Nice try. Not quite.
Precision dodge times 5. Oops. Phoenix shift. I finally did it. I finished him with it. Guy gets slain. I totally forgot about the Phoenix move. I had it the whole time. I didn't use it. That's the one you hit. I'll use R2 to do the Phoenix attack. I did it as the last hit. Okay. Well, we leveled up. Basic stat increases. Nothing too amazing. Okay. Hard leather. Following important battles, a separate result screen appears displaying battle performance and rewards. Rewards are based on performance. They include items, gear, ability points, and experience points. So I got hard leather armlets. Alright. Well, now he's like, oh shit. Beat up my big boy.
Come back and fight, you coward! After him, before he summons the rest.
So, gear and abilities. It's just hardened leather. Here it is. Hardened leather armlets. Abilities. Did I get any? I have 122 ability points. Holy crap. Let's get some stuff. How about... We can actually charge up magic to level 2 once we have 250, but we don't have enough for that. Let's do basic stuff. Let's do... I like this. Charge attack. You dash in and lunge. I like that. Aerial slash. I like that. Let's get all the basic abilities, right? Imbue the blade with fire by holding the button down. And do a hop. Why not? I'm getting all the basics. There you go. We got every basic thing. So, X and square together is this down thrust. You jump and slash. You press them both together. On the ground, you do the lunge, but if you jump and do it, you do the downward slash. That's cool. All these new abilities. And you can hop on the enemies. Yes, I know you're saying there's a control scheme. If you haven't noticed, I'm not interested in it. You can stop spamming the chat saying there's another control scheme. I get it. There's probably several. I'm going to try to learn the basic controls, okay? Holy moly. Some people, man. Try to impose their will on you. Change the control scheme. Why? Did I say I'm having problems with the controls?
Damn it!
What a jerk. How rude. Okay.
This ends now.
What the? Now what?
What's in there?
Oh. Oops. Oopsie. It's a Marlboro. Marble? That's not what they were called in previous games. They're called Malboros. It's a marble in this one?
My lord. That thing's breath is worse than its bite.
Phoenix uppercut. Oh shit. I parried. Nice. Ooh, no!
That reeks!
I can't even see.
Said, stay away from its mouth.
Slam, and then Phoenix uppercut. So I gotta remember to use the Phoenix uppercut a lot. Ooh, launched me. Now, bad, dodge, dodge. Good, I dodged it. Staggered, baby. Phoenix uppercut. It's an iconic punishment. Yeah, we did a lot of stagger damage. Okay, I'm starting to get the groove of the combat now.
Where's it going?
Oh, we went underwater. That's not good.
Your guess is as good as
Ready
mine.
to dodge. Oh shit! What do we do? What do we do? Cutscene or quick time or something? Oh, what's this? Cinematic strike. When the screen flashes blue during a pivotal moment, press square before time runs out and deliver a devastating blow. Okay.
No! Before it recovers!
Phoenix uppercut. Why do they just stand there not doing anything? They suck. They don't do shit. They're not helping at all. Oh, you can do air. The air combo is actually good. Look, I like the air combo. Gas. Shit? What the hell is that? Shift? I don't know what that means, shift. I got a shift trophy. They're not doing anything. They're just fucking standing there. It's so dumb.
Won't be gone for long.
I only have high potions left now. Here we go again.
I cannot fall here.
Okay. Cinematic evasion. When the screen flashes red like this during a pivotal moment, press R1 before time runs out to evade. Okay.
Now for the final push, my lord.
Wild Rage? What's that? Did a special ability.
I think we made it angry. I'd rather we made it die. Not quite.
Precision dodge. Almost done. Dude, spewing goo. Finish it! Yes! The Phoenix Upper. Morble Slaying. Oh, that's not what it's called in previous Final Fantasies. Alright, so now I have more abilities. I can dash in and lunge. I can do the aerial